Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Low Fuel Motorsport. My name is Olaf, aka Bobs Racing, and I'll be your commentator for tonight as we're on to week number 4 already. We're on week 4 here for the P Cup. Currently, we're looking at the track called Misano. This is definitely what we're going to be looking at today, as well as the beautiful, beautiful track of Watkins Glen for the Pro Series later on tonight in about an hour time. But for now, we have the Porsche Cup already laid out for us. I'm just trying to fix the last few things because our livery tool seems to be a little bit painful sometimes to work with. Sometimes it works, sometimes it just absolutely doesn't. So I'm hoping to get all the beautiful liveries to you in just a moment's time. In the meantime, though, we can have a quick little look at the results from last week in the Porsche Cup. Should have that ready on our screen right now. Here we can see the results. Carrera out in first, Santama in second, and Fry in third place. So these are all your runners from last week out. It was the Valencia circuit out in Spain. Today we're off towards Italy for Misano. The track is already visible in the background. The cars are already on track, so we should have that in just a moment's time. And of course, with the results, we also have to look at our current standings. We can have that on the screen as well. Here they are. Santama out in first with Carrera in second, and then a whole lot of German drivers to follow them and trying to gain those leading spots. Or of course, they're going to be in week 4 today. So that means a third of the season done. So lots and lots and lots of points still up for grabs somewhere along the line. Let's see if we can get this all started. Should have a nice little look here for the drivers. Let's see if I can get this all ready for you guys. So yeah, with these standings, we're going to be running into week number 4 out in Misano. Let's see if we can have our cars on the track. Going to our live screens, this should be all visible. There we have them. The cars out on track for qualifying. Carrera currently with the Visual Esports #1 car out in first. Should be the first car out on track for this qualifying. Yellow flag in sector 1. On the sector 3, I'm misreading the map. On sector 3, all yellows because they're all trying to get into that final bit of the track, trying to leave the space for the cars in front. So of course that is the rule. You have to have enough space in front of you to make your qualifying lap. Because if you get a car in front of you, then makes you lose lap time. It's your fault. You have to look at the spot. Let me just quickly remove the manufacturers from the list, because that's of course not something that we need to see. Because of course every single car here is going to be a Porsche car. Carrera with the first lap time. Going to be putting that on the board after this final corner. Misano, beautiful track. Don't know the corner names, unfortunately. Don't know the numbers either. So going to have to do this all by feeling. And Carrera, of course, final corner. It's always the final corner. 134.5 across the line. It's going to be the first lap completed. That will be our benchmark. Santama is in second, about half a second behind him. Has just completed his lap as well. We're going to be looking a little bit further down the grid for some more cars to be near the back of the line. I think we currently have Alexander Wright on the back, the last car to set a lap time. Currently just dropping and tumbling down the order as other cars are putting their laps. And I'm seeing 35s, 36s, 37s. There's even a 42 in the mix. And a 39 as well by Frank. So those are definitely banker laps. So those are not laps that you want to have on your timing. So we're looking at Alexander Wright now, the Colorworks Racing Team, the number 19 car. Track limits, of course, are very, very special for these tracks. You can run very, very wide at these spots. Of course, it's not something you want to do, especially on the qualifying lap. You want to be within the wide lines. Wright's doing that perfectly. Carrera, not so much, has gone over the lines already. You can see on the minimap on the right-hand side of the screen a blue dot signaling that a car is not on a valid lap, and a grey dot that a car is on a valid lap, as Wright goes on to 19th place for the number 19 car. We can see that Santama has a valid lap. Gerard behind does not have a valid lap. The number 16 Radstrom, currently in 10th place behind, doesn't either. The number 12 car of Hoffman, neither. So Santama now with an improvement does get closer to that pole position time from Caracas, that provisional pole, with 123 thousandths of a second right behind Caracas. Has just started another lap. Got some more jumps around our order here. Let's see if we can catch some drivers on an improvement. Hoffman now to 18th place. Let's go to Zohan Fit, currently in the 25th numbered car. 20th in the standings. Has got quite a big improvement, a little bit of a slipstream there on the straight as well. Goes from 20th to 17th. Immediately gets dropped down, down to 18th. As that was Prol, I believe, up to 14th place. So Fit now with a good improvement on the board. Let's see if there's anyone else we can catch. I think this is right. The driver that we saw on lap number 1. Yellow flag now out in sector 1 for the drivers getting back to the garage, but rides with a 1:39.0. Has got some work to do. Currently 4.4 seconds behind the leader, but is going to make quick work of that gap. Will be crossing the line now, and from 25th all the way up to 18th. A very, very good lap from Rides. Giraud now finishing up his lap as well. The gaps out in front still quite big. Santama close in second, and that is Giraud off. This is Fry currently on the final bit of the track. Does have a car right in front of him. I believe that might just be, let's see if that is indeed Hoffman. It is Hoffman who is jumped in front of Fry, and I believe that is, like I said, Fry's job to get that gap. He will go back to the pits now to see if he can get an improvement later on in that second stint of the qualifying. 5 minutes left on the clock for the drivers to set their lap times. Lenz just got the back end of that one, goes up to 11th place. Great qualifying lap with a 1:36.5. So Fry, unfortunately being faster in this case, catching the car ahead and then having to back out of it. And that's not something you want to see. That's not something you want to happen. But yeah, you do have to keep your space, keep your distance to the car ahead to make sure that you get your qualifying lap in, even if you are a second or so faster than the car ahead. Of course, you want to be a little bit close at times to get that slipstream on the final straight, maybe out of the final corner. But not on this very, very fast section here. This is where we're going to see maybe some risky overtakes in the race. It's going to be a 30-minute race. I didn't even go to the schedule. I'll go to the schedule after we've done this. Yeah, I'll have to do that real quick. In the meantime, yeah, we'll get through that in just a second. New season first, season 20, first broadcast for me on this season. So there's some little kinks to iron out, but everything sure will be good towards the end of this. Kren now with a good improvement. Currently sat in 7th place. It's about a second off of Caracas's provisional pole time. Does have an improvement and goes from 7th up to 5th. Beats Patouche and Giraud for 5th place. We'll slow down now to get back to the pits. Now we're following Grandas Caracas through the final sector of the track, getting his bearings. And that might just looks like a qualifying lap already. He might be on one actually. The delta doesn't look too great on my end. It's looking red positively because he might have just gone out of the pits. It's usually what it looks like. There it is, the slowdown, just to make sure he has enough room, because the car in front of him is the number 21 car. And they are currently sat in 16th. That's Torgerson. And Torgerson just got dropped down to 17th. Because we have an improvement from Star Service. As we now have Reese up to 16. So they're all dropping and jumping places in the middle of the pack. That is that's always nice and good to see. Going to be close fighting here as Caracas unfortunately is catching some traffic in the middle part of the lap. We're going to be on board for a moment, see what Caracas sees. He's got a weaving car in front of him. That's the number 8 car of Patouche, currently in 7th place. So number 24 car puts it in the side of the road. We do have these wide track limits, as you can see. The AstroTurf to the side. Just learned last week what AstroTurf, where the name comes from. And they have it here all the way across the outside, so you can go very, very wide on your track limits. You can go completely over with your car. And here as well on the apex, just take everything you can. A bit bumpy at times. Here we have a lift off onto a big break for the apex, going very wide for the second corner. And this is where we have our final section of the track, the slowest bit on the third sector. The final turn doesn't look anything too spectacularly great from Caracas as he goes on to the start-finish straight, and it looks like he's lost a little bit of time. He's got one more lap to do it. Bucher now in 8th place, the number 6 car looking for an improvement as well. It's going to be going through this slower section now that we just saw Caracas pass through and not gain an improvement. And Bucher is looking to get that. Currently in some clean air. Colorworks cars right in front of him. The final corner now. He is 1.4 seconds away from pole position. He can make that exactly 1 second away with 135.577. That's wonderful. We've never seen that happen before. Goes to show that the guys in front are absolutely wild and crazy for being at this pace. The further back we go, around that 1.5 second mark, we can see the drivers really start to get close in their gaps. 9th place for Hare with 1.5 second gap, and then all the way down to 22nd. So from 9th to 22nd, we get that gap of only a second. So that's really promising for our midfield fight. Checkered flag is out. So that means that everyone who comes across the line now will have their lap time solidified. And we are looking at Santama currently in 2nd place on the standings of the qualifying. 1st place in the standings overall. Does have a chance to nip away at some time from Caracas's lap time. He has gone back to the pits. So that is Caracas's lap time solidified. And Santama with half a sector to go. Might just be able to take something out of it. Goes absolutely to the limits of this track. It's very beautiful to see how they do that. This makes for great racing as well. Lots of racing surface for these cars to go over. One more corner for Santama. Needs just a little bit over a 10th. Doesn't cross the line, just barely keeps it within the track limits and doesn't get an improvement. It's about a 10.5, almost 2/10 slower than his previous lap time. So that does not grant him the role of pole sitter. It will not go to Wasner either. It will not go to Fry. But it will be Grantas Caracas on the pole position for race number 4 at Misano. So a 30-minute race where Caracas will show his everything to make sure that he can get going properly. And in the meantime, we'll have a quick look at the schedule, because this is the one thing that I didn't mention just yet. We have a schedule here. Currently looking at the Pro Series in an hour, about 45 minutes time. We have the Pro Series week number 4, the 27th to the 27th of October to the 2nd of November. Watkins Glen is waiting for us for our Pro Series. As of our other cars and series ready for us as well. But looking for the Porsche Carrera Cup, we have week number 4 on the 30th of October, Misano, with a 30-minute race. Now be careful with the schedule though, because week 12 falls exactly on Christmas. So that means that we won't have races on Christmas. We'll have them at the Nordschleife a week after. And that goes for, I think, all of these, most of these events. They'll have somewhat of an extra round somewhere. We can see week 1, Monza, Wednesday, Friday, and Nordschleife, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturday for week 13. Gonna be going back to the actual action. Gonna have to click a few buttons here to go back to our actual view. About 40 seconds to our race start. We're gonna give a quick shout to our pole sitter, Grantis Caracas. We can't go through everyone. Well, we can actually go through everyone. Let's just go through everyone. Grantis Caracas out in pole position. Abe Santama in second place. Wasner is holding in third place here with the, I was gonna say the Porsche, but they're all Porsches, so with the number 4 car definitely visible. Michael Fry in fourth place. And with Kren in fifth. Gerard takes home sixth place for this qualifying session. Bucher manages to put it up to seventh. Patush in eighth place. Then we have Rademacher in ninth. Verheer in 10th place. Rancano in 11th. Wiedbeck in 12th. Rainman in 13th. Lenz gets 14th. Colorworks livery looking absolutely beautiful today. Shins in 15th. Seppanen in 16th. Prohl takes 17th on this qualifying race. The good improvement in the middle part of that qualifying gets going now in 18th place, the number 11 car. Starting a little bit lower where they wanted to start, but starting higher than where they wanted to start is Starcevic in 19th place with the number 28 car. Radstrom in 20th. Torgerson in 21st, exactly where his number is. Hoffman is in 22nd. Fit will have 23rd to his name. Rides will have 24th. We see a lot of these Colorworks racing team cars going around. Grosse in 25th. Kiss in 26th. Grund 27th. Malman has 28th place. Frank 29th. Slade in 30th, and towards the back of the grid, Barling in 31st, and Wilkinson in last place, 32nd for the number 27 car. Going back to the front of the grid, of course, Caracas, the driver for Visceral Esports, of course, very well known in the Pro Series. With these guys, they're absolutely crazy cracked and going on these lap times. I've seen them drive around the track for the past few seasons in the GT3s. Now they get to amaze me in the Porsche Cup as well, going through the latter half of the second half of the second sector. Heating up the tires, usually by dropping those brakes. Let's see if we can hear them. Don't think that's too much on the brakes just yet. There we have him, the left foot, a little bit of movement. The driver is definitely having to do some work to heat up the tires and make sure that they're up to temperature. Once again, I'll take the manufacturers out of the tower so we can have a look at the race gaps. That's what we'll see when the race starts. Because, of course, we have all Porsches. Just got to remind myself to turn it back on again for the Pro Series. That's going to be in about 30 minutes time. But for now, we'll have 30 minutes of action. Caracas heating up the rear tires, getting them ready to go. This beautiful, beautiful weather in Misano. Optimal temperatures, optimal track conditions, zero wind at all. Only slightly cloudy to make sure the tires don't overheat. 26 degrees Celsius in the air, 34 degrees Celsius on the track. And Caracas is absolutely ready for it. But Santama will be looking on the outside for turn number 1, which becomes the inside for turn number 2. Then back to the outside for turn number 3. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be manic for turn number 1. Caracas on the left-hand side of the screen. Santama on the right-hand side of the screen. Fry and Wasner very, very close behind. And it's green at Misano. Bad start for Caracas, who drops behind Santama almost instantly. Who's trying to cut him off into turn number 1, but doesn't get there. Gets a little bit scared, I believe. And that puts Caracas in the proper position to take back the lead of the race, and does so controllably, with Wasner jumping up to 3rd place. I think he was quite far ahead now. Already on Fry from the start of the race. Here we have him going in a train. A bit of shuffling in the middle of the grid, but our leader stays as is. Caracas in 1st place. Going to be hopping open that position delta so we can see where the drivers have moved to and from. The Caracas currently in 1st, having a nice little moment here as we see Rainman and I believe that's Verheer right behind in the purple car, having a fight here for 10th place. Currently right behind Rademacher as well. So this is a very tight little battle here. Rayman in the... Oh, there's a car off. There is one of the cars off. I think that's Rancanho, who's been dropping down the order. We can see him currently in 18th. He has been dropped to the side and will drop down the order. Rainman now in the black and green livery, being chased by Verheer in the purple livery. In the final sector of the track, we can see everyone up to P9 staying the exact same. Rayman gaining 3 positions off the line. Very, very good start for the number 9 Porsche. There, I said it again. The number 9 car going up to 10th place, gaining 3 places. Everyone out in front staying the same. Carrera with the first lap to go, as we do see some battling going on. I think it's Fry getting through on Wasner here. The blue car getting the position. The race place livery up to 3rd place, and I believe we saw Giraud as well with a position swap a little bit further back. That's for 6th place. The question is, did he gain it or did he lose it? As Wasner almost loses it himself, tries to stick his nose in to maybe a place where he doesn't belong, drops back just a moment after, does get his head clean. We'll have a little look on the inside, then back to the outside as Fry goes for a mega defensive move down to the hairpin. Let's see if the inside line is quicker or if the outside is. There might be some rubbing here on the side as Wasner gets pushed wide. He's not going to be happy with that one as Fry keeps the position. Kren now fighting with Bucher and Giraud, who loses a place down to 7th as he takes it back again from Bucher. And now they are as they were. So Fry taking the place from Wasner. And we have still some fights a little bit further back. Giraud gets away with it cleanly, but Bucher currently in a fight with Patouche, who's currently sat in 8th place, but will want that position for sure. So the higher up you get, the more points you score, and that's of course something that everyone is after. Notably, 4th and 5th and 7th haven't set a proper lap time on the previous lap, meaning that they have gone past the track limits at some point on that lap. 34.9 for Caracas, which is a very, very good lap. It's faster than some people's qualifying lap, so that's a very good start of the race for Caracas in the number 1 car. Fry also with an amazing overtake to get 3rd place. Does have a big gap ahead of him, but right behind him is Wasner, still quite close. Patouche, Bucher and Giraud now in a 3-way fight for 6th place. Kren kind of getting close to Wasner as well, trying to join this for a 3-way fight. For the back, we still have some things going on, especially here down in 21st. We see Hoffman trying to chase down Fit, but he does have Rancanho right behind him. Rancanho lost 11 places on the start. We'll have to look for that redemption run. Looks towards the inside of the hairpin. Doesn't go for it. A little bit wide for Hoffman. That is all fine in this corner. It's the number 12 car holding on to 21st. Gaining 1 position off the start, and that will be because Rancanho decided that the track was not much to his liking. Went off to the grass, do a little bit of lawn mowing, got his car corrected, and back onto the grey stuff, onto the asphalt. Good stuff to recover from that, because that's of course always difficult when you're sat in a car that doesn't want to go where you want it to go. It's always difficult to try and fight back. Gonna have feedback now, who does have front row seats to the fight ahead of us. And another fight ahead of us that I'm just looking at right now is Wasner in 4th. Has gotten quite close to Fry. Verheer is still on the rear of Rainman. That's of course something that we will be looking at throughout the race. See where those podium positions unfold. Race in the meantime has got Radstrom right behind him. 0.2 of a difference, but we'll have to look for an offensive move to Shins in the yellow car just a little bit ahead. Otherwise he will be losing that place. A little bit squirrely through that first sector. Combination of course very difficult to do. Will lose time to the car ahead. Has got some space. Radstrom deciding not to go for it. Thinks better of it. Knows that there are way more opportunities coming than he's already passed. with the first 6 minutes gone. We have 1/5 of the race done, so that means he still has 80% of the race left to try for an overtake, as Rancagno does get past Hoffman, and Lenz has a little move on Wiedbeck, who has dropped behind now. We're looking at a fight now for 14th place. No, we're not. We're looking at Verheer, currently in 11th. Trying to have a look on Raymond, who's braking a little bit early to his liking. The number 13 car all over the rear of the number 9. Trying to make his way through. He has been here for a while, losing that 1 place a few laps ago. A little bit too wide for Raymond. He's going to be taking a track limits warning there. The inside is open for Verheer. Has a look. Doesn't put his nose in because he knows that's going to be a wrong move. We saw that with Santama on lap number 1. He had the outside line and couldn't do anything with it. That's all due to the fact that it's quite a high-speed corner still, so you have to be completely side by side and then still a little bit further ahead if you want to make a move happen in the first few turns. That's never a good sign if you're only a little bit side by side through that first section of the track. Hoffman still close to Rancagno, trying to get that position back because the number 10 car does have 2 seconds ahead of him to make up for. And Hoffman has rides right behind him. A little bit of backup from the Colorworks Racing team. Of course, all looking for something here. Get back up to those positions. Hoffman, 22nd, exactly where he started. So we'll be very happy to gain a few positions. Giraud now on Kren, back to where he started in 6th place. Has done some shuffling with Bucher behind as well. But if you look at the rear view mirror, he is quite far behind already. About a second in between the two. Giraud not letting up on Kren. Currently lap number 6 is what we're going to. I believe that is what we're going to. A little bit deep there for Giraud. We'll, of course, have to look for opportunities everywhere that he goes. He's doing just that, trying to get something going. There's no views and no looks in the first sector of the track. Waardemacher now in 9th place. Raymond right behind, Patouche right in front. So it is very close between these three, especially through that lower speed section, as Verheer is still on the rear of Raymond. So it is quite close for Rademacher. Currently dropping back a tiny bit of the exit of Sector 1. There's nothing too special going on for now. Let's go to his teammate Hoffman, who's holding on to Rancagno quite well, considering Rancagno started somewhere close to the top 10, if not in the top 10. That's good pace from Hoffman, holding on to him, and he's the number 12 against the number 10, so that should be very doable. For those who are new here or haven't seen any of the LFM races before, every car has their number, and that is selected through our ELO system. So the higher ELO you are, the higher number you get on your car. So we're currently looking at Ben Rees here in the middle of this fight, with Shins and Radstrom right behind. Rees is the number 11, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen. And he's surrounded by a number 20 and a number 16, because that means that Ben Rees is the highest ELO of these three. So theoretically should be faster than the cars all around him. And here when I say theoretically, because this is what it means. The ELO is an average of your racing. You do it on different tracks, you do it in different cars. The better you score in races, the more ELO you will gain. If you do badly, you'll lose a lot of ELO. And Ben Rees now looking for an impossible send, goes way off of the track limits, loses all of his grip, and loses 2 positions. Now has to scramble back onto the track, and he's got 2 cars right behind him. Sepponen is getting him real close. Now Shins has got Radstrom right alongside him already. And Shins will hold the inside line. The yellow car trying to defend his 14th place, and does so quite well. Radstrom is dropping back again. Rees has retaken that position. So that's a dramatic move in the ending of sector number 1. There's going to be an inside send for Radstrom as well, who will gain a position now on Ben Rees once again. So Rees just a little bit too eager, goes for a send. He was looking towards the outside and then on towards the inside immediately after. And then just outbraked himself, got off the track, and is now looking for a move on Radstrom. But Radstrom himself is looking at Shins, his insides as well. Not his insides, the inside of the track, of course. But like I said, theoretically, Ben Rees is overall the faster driver based off of ELO. But of course, anything can happen in these races. We have Carrera with the number 1 out in first steal, Abe Santama in second with the number 2 car. But then in third place, we have Michael Fry with the number 5 car. So anything can happen in these races. And we see numbers all over the grid, but we do generally see a slide here in sector 1. We do generally see some more lower numbers higher up in the grid and some higher numbers lower in the grid, as these cars are absolutely all over the road. So is Radstrom, and Ben Rees just cycling on through, making sure that he can get that position in the same space that he lost one the lap before. It's going to have a little look on Shins now on the hairpin. Radstrom is able to pick up anything that he can. He's going to be looking to chase him on through. A little bit wide, a little bit deep there for Shins. Going to have to go for the helicam. That's Shins all the way down. Now Starzovic is here. Sepponen has dropped a ride behind him. He's going to be losing his position to Torges as well. This gaggle of cars is only getting bigger. So we have some contact between Shins and another car, I believe. And the yellow car has got a nice little exclamation mark and a warning icon to the left-hand side, which is already gone, so that means that there's probably nothing going on with that. Shins losing out 2 places, Rees on through, Radstrom on through, Starzovic is through as well on Torgerson. He was right behind the teammates, we can see them here in the back as well. Or the teammates, I should say, they have the same livery, as it looks like teammates. Currently in that order, Starzovic and Torgerson in 17th and 18th. This is a great fight for 14th place. They're losing a lot of time with it. As you can see, about 6.8 seconds from 14th to 13th. But it's amazing racing. It's very, very good to see. Out in front, Caracas, quick update. He's got 2.4, almost 2.5 seconds clear of Santama in second, who's got 4 seconds clear on Fry in third. Does have Wasner to visit in just a moment's time. The gaps are increasing out in front because Wasner has 4 seconds behind him to Kren. So Wasner able to take some looks, as we do see Sepponen actually drop back completely down to 22nd now. So between the Colorworks drivers, Hoffman and Wrights now surrounding this car. And does he have a problem? Because that's Wrights looking towards the inside, trying to get a send done. Blocks Sepponen completely on the apex. Gross is now here to pick something up because that doesn't look like a very, very fast exit. Loses a second already to the car ahead. And Gross stays behind for now. As we're looking at Zoan Fit now fighting with Torgerson on the left-hand side. Fit number 25 car, darker liveried car, the black one on the final sector of the track. We'll have a look. But doesn't go for it just yet. Better be safe than sorry. Will not take that position away. Back up to the front. The LFM Esports car from Sasha Wasner now in 4th, still trundling behind Fry. I believe they're both losing lap time because the fastest lap from these two are a few tenths quicker than what they did on the previous lap. The gap not really changing too much so far. Currently 4th place for Wasner, 3rd for Fry. Will pick up that podium if they finish like this, but we're only halfway through. The conditions aren't changing too much, so drivers just have to be happy with what they have now. No stops either for this race, because these are all sprints and they have to do with what they get. And Fry definitely having a good day here. Wasner losing 1 spot, Fry gaining 1 place. Further back, the fight that we saw, Rees gaining 4, Radstrom gaining 5. Shins now losing 1 overall. Juan climbed back 2 places, only down 9 now from where he started. Looking at Good fight here in the middle of the pack still. This is Shins in that yellow car being chased down by Starcevic and Torgerson. Two cars looking for a bite. Of course, it is Italy, so you can have a bite. Probably 2 meters away from our circuit. Kill for some pizza right now. These drivers probably do as well. So they're quite close to each other. Shins now still in 16th, losing out in the fight with Reese and with Radstrom. We saw that with the ELO numbers. But of course, that sometimes just doesn't make sense, because now Starcevic with a number 28 trying to chase down Shins now in 20 with the number 20 car in 16th. Torgerson is here to pick up some scraps as well if anything goes awry, and it might as well, seeing the amount of action that we've had already. You see Starcevic now in the middle of this fight. Torgerson having a look on the inside, will send it. Does he get the car stopped in time? No, he doesn't. Go punches Starcevic off. Gets back onto the track, but there was contact between the two. The question is, did Torgerson get his car stopped, or would he be able to get his car stopped? He does slow down a tiny bit. Leaves the inside open. That's Starcevic now on through. Does leave himself vulnerable for Fit now to go on through as well. Same for Racagno. Torgerson knows that he was wrong, lifts it off there, and let Starcevic go. That's sportsmanship and a half. Racagno now trying to be opportunistic. A little slide there from Fit. It's going to make it a bit easier for Torgerson to get him on the next straight. It's quite long, quite fast. Should be careful not to get too much aero wash here on these corners, because you do need the air, you do need the grip, and now it's only difficult to see where you can go, and there it is. Torgerson off the track and absolutely deep into the final sector, over the marbles, no grip whatsoever. Hoffman and Wrights are here to pick it up and back it up. Hoffman on through, Wrights has to wait for a few more corners as Torgerson does get back onto the track, but Racagno still behind Fit, is getting closer. Fry is now cut loose from Wasner for a moment. The gap is hovering around the second. It's about 2 or 3 times as much as we saw a little bit further back. That's of course always nice to see. Fastest lap still in the hands of Caracas. And 1:34.792, the fastest lap of the race, being the only lap into the 34th, and that is a car off the Starcevic, who has gone sideways and will be sideways for a little moment more. So he is off the track at the end of Sector 1. He'll rejoin here, but losing out 5 spots. That's never something you want to happen. Now the number 28 car in 24th place will lose out. Racagno and Fit now side by side, swapping places. The number 25 car still ahead. It's very, very close between the two, but the number 10 doing everything he can to regain those places. Dropped about 11 on the opening laps of the race. He's climbed back 4 places. With 12 laps done, 6 laps to go. We have a little move. That's a big slide there from Racagno. Does get it stopped in time. Gets to the apex first, and some more drifting around the hairpin, but that is... Wow, that's an overtake if I've ever seen one. I haven't even got the words for this. Holy Racagno. If I'm allowed to swear on stream, I would have done it right now, because that was one banger of a move. 2 slides in 2 corners, but he gets the job done. Racagno up to 17th place. Absolutely wild overtake here for 17th by the number 10. Fit. Just got no words for this. He has to stick behind now. It's style points just got it for him. He's got Hoffman right behind him. Torgerson as well. So this fight will continue for a moment. Racagno, with those extra points that he's got from his Tony Hawk Pro Skater career here in Misano, should be able to run away with this quite easily. Because Fit will have to look behind him to see what awaits him in the grasps of Hoffman if he can't make that overtake happen back on Racagno. Doesn't look like it. So he will stick behind for now. The gap's still small, so he's not losing hope yet. Up 5 places from where he started. Definitely a good drive from Zoan Fit already. The number 25 car now under fire from the number 12. Hoffman in 19th would like to take these positions away. It's like the closest fight that we have at the moment. A little bit further back, we see the two cars here. This is Starzovic now on Grosse, who's overtaken the number 28 car. And was behind just a few laps ago. So we saw Starzovic go off the track and lose quite a few spots. Got out ahead of Grosse, who had the overtake in between that incident and now. Didn't manage to catch that one. We should be able to see if Starzovic gets that position back or not. This is for 23rd in the race. The midfield giving us plenty to look at here at Misano. Now remember, this is only week number 4. We have, I think, 8 weeks left, 9 weeks left of this racing, with one break on Christmas, of course. But we've got 8 weeks of racing left with these cars, with this fighting, with this grid. And it might just look as close as it is right now. Pit now a little bit further back from Rancagno, like we already expected. We'll have a little look to defend here. Len's now being overtaken by Wiedbeck, who's gotten the overtake done in the middle part of the track. Hoffman now having a look as well, but Fit towards the middle of the track, slightly defensive. Has to make everything work to hold on to his 18th place. The final laps of the race. Hoffman now going defensive against Torgerson as well. Torgerson having a good race so far. As Verheer passes Rainman for 10th place. It's not the fight that we're looking at, but that is happening in the background. Wiedbeck and Lenz still quite close. Hoffman now looking at Fit like he's a piece of pizza. And I'm the car behind. A few tenths behind the number 25 car in these final corners of lap number 14. There's lap number 13. I think this is number 13. My UI is maybe counting the formation lap. But Fit looking vulnerable though. Doesn't have a car to leech off of. Doesn't have a car to balance himself out. Or to look at, maybe get the slipstream from. So he's absolutely vulnerable from behind. Rancagno is now caught up to Shins. The yellow car is the fight that we see right in front of us. We have seen cars go for the late lunge here. Just very happy that Hoffman didn't do it this time around. He's gained 3 spots. We'll want to gain 1 more. Rancagno now on the prowl. The recovery drive doing him absolutely beautifully. Up to 17th now. Beautiful stuff from the Predator Racing team. Big slide here from Rancagno as well. Does manage to hold on to it. I mean, if he can do it while overtaking, he can definitely do it while chasing someone down. Shin's now in a world of trouble. Slipstream is absolutely crazy down this part. We just saw with a few drivers that the aero wash is also just as crazy. So for the next right-hander, Rancagno has to be very, very safe to not go over the track limits and brake on time for this corner. Does so nicely. Again, a few more slides, but Shins does the exact same. Loses some time here. Rancagno around the outside, taking the place up to 16th. And Shins has got nothing to say about this. Fit joining the fight again, trying to retake that position as well. As Shins is now in the middle of this pack. And look at that. It's a train. We're almost done with the race, but it's an absolute train here in the midfield. Everyone within half a second here for the middle of the pack. Currently the fight for 17th place. Rancagno has 16th in his pocket. Will be running away with this as Shins will be under fire from Fit. Has to worry because he does have Hoffman right behind him. Goes for the try at least. Shins going very passively on the inside. This is what I mean. Fit going a bit wide. Now needs to stay on the outside of the track. Middle of the track open for Hoffman to slide right on through. So Fit being dropped back. Hoffman has one. Goes around the outside. Tries to make it 2. Fit tries to swap it up and under. Does so very, very nicely. And Shins losing 2 spots in just a few corners time. That is Torgerson. A little bit too deep. Tries to weave out of the way. Does so just before Rides makes contact. And now we have Fit and Hoffman still side by side on the back straight. The right-hander now in favor of Fit. So we'll gain that position going into this right-hander as well. Holds on to it. And there is Shins back at it again. Hoffman losing a spot. Shins on through. Hoffman now under fire as well from Torgerson. As this, I should just keep the helicam on at all times. Currently in the black car, Zohan Fit in 17th, Shins in 18th in the yellow car. Then we have Hoffman, Torgerson, and Rides, the Colorworks Racing Team Sandwich, and Seppanen has joined this fight in 22nd on the back of all of this. A little bit further back, we see Starcevic, but he hasn't joined this fight just yet. We'll need to make up about 4 seconds to do so. And we are currently focused on Hoffman, the car chasing down Dario Shins. Torgerson is looking very feisty right behind him, though. So that is looking like an overtake waiting to happen if Hoffman does not make this work anytime soon. So a few tenths separating each and every car. Roncaño has ran away with it. Currently in 16th place. 6 seconds ahead of Radstrom. We'll hold on to 15th towards the end of the race. Shins now, the car under pressure, goes a little bit too deep. And that's the commentator's curse, everyone. Hoffman on through, Torgerson on through. It's not over just yet. Shins will have some fight in him. Rides will have to wait his turn. Torgerson still needs to be defensive, because if he's not, then Shins will just take this position back from him. So the gap is absolutely tiny. Shins nowhere to go, though. We'll have to stick behind. We've got 2 more laps remaining for these drivers to battle it out and see what happens. Who takes P17? Who takes P16? Who takes P18? It looks like Fit is already through just a bit too far. Contact between Reese and Radstrom, though. They are backwards on the track. This is Radstrom, currently on the side, is being tapped by some other cars. And was that Grosse as well? Dropping back? Don't think it was. But there was big contact between a few cars. That's Radstrom. Reese now coming through as well. And this is Prol trying to gain these positions. That's a massively damaged car for Radstrom. He's definitely not happy with this. Let's see how Reese's car looks. See where he is. He's dropping back a little bit. There he is. That car looking very damaged as well. So that's not in the optimal spot, optimal condition. They're definitely looking at some incident on the straight. See if we can get this. So that means the number 11 car fighting with the number 16 car. See if we can get that on our replay here. Number 16 now in view here, Radstrom. This was not the place where the incident happened. I should be looking at the other side of the replay. We are not doing this well. Accident here on the number 11. You can wait for a second for this to happen. These are all small contacts on the start of the race. Here we have the contact with the number 16, and I believe this is with the number 11 car as well. So we're going on to the start-finish straight. Radstrom is the car that we're looking at. Reese is the car that is right in front. And that is Reese making a mistake and then going across the track. So what happened then with Reese? Let's go back to the replay one more time to see what exactly happened to Reese. So went through the final sector and onto the final corner as well. Taking this turn nicely. Let's see if we can get an onboard with him. Loses control, goes onto the grass. There he loses control, slaps into the wall. Doesn't hold his brakes, can't get the car stopped, and then hits Radstrom. He is driving again though, but that is of course not something you want to see if you are anywhere within this fight. These cars happily to take some moves though. So Rides now having a look. Oopsie. On to Shins once more. There we have everything. As the race is already concluded, I completely forgot about the fact that we were only 2 minutes away from the race, and Caracas gaining the victory. As you can see, the number 1 car crossing the line in first, Santama in second, and Fry takes home third. quite a little bit of a lazy race out in front, but we will have some fights for position still. This is for 7th place. Bucher right ahead of Patush. Will take home 7th place still, and Patush down to 8th. Exactly as started. Further back, we still have a few fights. This is Lens now on Wiedbeck. They are quite close, but they will finish as they were in 12th and 13th. This is now the closest that we have. Is rides right behind Shins for 18th place. And Shins will hold on to this as it stands, dropping down 3 spots from where he started. But this has been absolutely crazy. And Rancagno still gets home in 14th. That is regaining 8 spots from an incident way further back. So that's absolutely crazy work by the number 10 car. Good recovery, and I think the overtake of the race as well. So that's very crazy. Ben Rees and Radstrom in 26th and 25th respectively, getting their spots and finishing the race. Further back, Wilkinson up 2 spots in 30th. Frank down in 22nd, and in between that, Peter Malman in 31st. And these will be the last cars across the line. To give you our final standings, with Grantas Caracas in 1st place to take the victory, Abe Santama in 2nd to get that podium position, and Michael Fry fending off Wasner for that 3rd place. Wasner eventually ending up in 6th from the looks of it. Not really too happy with that one. We should have time to go on to the studio in just a moment and check the results as well. Gonna have to go quickly to the Pro Series as well, because this is not the only racing we've had. This is the Misano race from the Porsche Cup that we've had. And see if we can maybe get an interview going, if there are drivers ready to get into the interview room. Unsure if they are. I'll be holding this open for just a moment if the drivers do want to get in and get interviewed. We have some room and space for that. Don't mind my dishwasher making the noises in the background. That's completely normal. The Pro Series is going to start in about 5 minutes time, when we have our qualifying ready for that. I want ready for the interviews. That means that we should be able to go on to the results. If these are the results for today, there they are, our results for today's race. Caracas winning out by about 4 seconds. Santaman second, Fry in 3rd. Kren and Giraud both getting a position as well. Waster down 3. Further back, we see Fit in 15th, up 8 places. Rancagno still recovering to 14th. Great job there as well. Up 6 for Hoffman. Shins unfortunately losing out on 3 spots. Some more losing out for Prol in 23rd, unfortunately for Radstrom and Rees as well. But Grosse and Grund gaining a few spots. Rise up 5 as well. Torgerson as well up a few places. And the only car being lapped today is Felix Frank, and we should have our standings updated now as well, I believe. With nope, we do not have our standings updated. So these are the standings from our from before the race. Abe Santama in 1st and Caracas in 2nd. Races counted 3, will be 4 in just a moment's time. And that should be very, very tight for the championship, with these two finishing in reverse order as well. So this is before today's race. This is before today's event. And we'll be looking at the standings in just a moment's time. I think we should go to the standings back again after the Pro Series as well, see if that's updated to get that all sorted. But for now, we are going to go on to the second half of today's festivities. I have a little bit of a break going on, so I'll drop the starting. I'll drop the trailer for a moment so you can grab some water, grab a little bit of a snack. I'll get some water as well, and then maybe a little toilet break, because we have a few more minutes before the Pro Series will start. You know what? I'll get to the start screen. We'll have about 10 minutes of a break, and then we can get back into the racing. So I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Alright, good evening everybody and welcome back to part 2 of tonight's broadcasting and going on. So I should probably change this this video, shouldn't I? Well, we've gone from Misano and now we're going on towards Watkins Glen. Our second event of tonight will be the Pro Series, week number 4 at Watkins Glen. And we've got some special little things going on for now. I'm gonna have to quick look at our results from last time out. These are the numbers that we saw at Imola. It's Castorino in first place, Caracas once more in second place, Keuselberg in third, Giraud in fourth, and Voigt in fifth. Then Foch, Duivelaar, Lindblom, Bergnara, Wasner into 10th place. Further down, some very rememberable names, some names that we've seen, some familiar names. That's the word I was looking for. Familiar names further down in the grid as well that we saw in the previous seasons and will be doing fantastically as well in this season. For the standings, we have a little bit of a different number going on. It's Castorino in first and Caracas in second, like we saw in the results from last week. Out Duivelaar in third, Delfante in fourth with a worse than optimal finishing position. Last week, Wasner in 5th, Keuselberg in 6th. And then further down the order, we have all of these drivers that have done their races. It says weeks counted and races. That means that if they have 2 weeks counted, they'll have 4 races if they've done all the races in their book. Because today we have 2 races in store for the Pro Series. It's going to be a 20-minute sprint and then on to a 40-minute sprint, with a small little break in between. But the second grid will have the top 15 reversed from race number 1. So if you finish in 15th place, that means you're starting on pole position for race number 2. That will be the little caveat for race number 2. Now, I think we've got another caveat going on, because if we go to our live, don't know if we can get that. I'll get that in a few seconds. It's gonna take a moment for that to update. I have to wait for the cars to go on through because I do want this to be nice, and we can go over the rest of the standings as well. These are the drivers that only have done 1 or 2 weeks out of the 3 that we've had so far, so they'll be a little bit further down in the order. I'd like to take a quick look at the schedule as well in the meantime. So this is our schedule overall for the Pro Series today at Watkins Glen. Next week we'll have Brands Hatch and then Silverstone for our 2-weekend trip doubleheader to the England. Then we have the Nordschleife in week number 7, Valencia, Suzuka, Hungaroring, Paul Ricard, aka the car park Ricard. Week 12, the break because of Christmas. Then on the New Year's week we have Monza ready for us to give us a real show and give us something nice to look at. Another Italian track that we'll get to see quite soon. For now though, we'll have to wait just one more moment for the final cars to pass through on this moment, and we have cars on the grid now. So that means that we will be looking at the live scenes from Watkins Glen. And here it is. We have a night race in Watkins Glen. It's going to be night qualifying, dark driving throughout all of this, as Stemmer will take the first car out of the pits. The first car to set a lap time. We'll give that away to Caracas. Caracas currently here in front. So with the first car to set a lap time on the board for this Watkins Glen race. A couple of cars still in the pits. It's a very, very, very busy track. It looks like it's a race going on already, but we are just starting in qualifying. They've got 15 minutes in total, so that means they have about 4 laps, 5 laps that they can do with a little break in between. They're probably going to do 2 or 3 and then a break, and then another 2 or 3 laps for their qualifying runs. Especially when it's dark, you have to leave the space. Luckily, you can see the cars a little bit better now with the lights. Everything else is dark. There's no floodlights. Drivers will have to do this all by knowledge, all by instinct. You can't see some of these corners even. The left-hander here is completely blind as you go on to the start-finish straight. And this is where the yellow flag is going to start flying. So all these drivers, it's a fast-paced part of the track, so they'll have to leave the space. And Carrera, the first car out to try for a lap. Let's see on board how much exactly, or how little exactly, Carrera will see on a lap through the Watkins. Glen's got his headlights on high beam, I believe. So if we look further behind, I think that's... nope, that's just normal beams. Carrera has got his normal beams set up very, very high. These turns quite fast throughout these. They're a little bit slinky going through the left and then the right, left, right. This is where we're going to see some cars go side by side, hopefully throughout the first few laps of the race. The curbs absolutely slamming it over him. A little bit of a slide there as well, and that might have been over the line for Carrera even. Unsure how far the track limits go exactly, but we'll get to find out when he finishes his lap. We can see that he's utilizing every single bit of the track that he has given to him. Going to be approaching sector 3 now. Starting to turn in before you even hit the brakes. It's absolutely crazy work on this corner. Final cars are lining up now to do their laps. As Carrera is going through, so that means that everyone on this track will be on a lap. We'll see the benchmark time being set by the #1 Visceral Esports car. And we have that blind corner. You can't even see the exit as you go in. It's almost like a hairpin up the hill. It's where the track falls away from under you, unloading your suspension and giving you a lot less mechanical grip than you would have wanted. And Carrera getting absolutely every apex on this lap. Powering down at every moment on this lap as well. Let's see what he can put on the board with his #1 car. Going in first on a 142.7. And then we have Stemmer right behind with a 143.230. Carrera, uncharacteristically, dropping back. And that's because that lap time wasn't valid. Like I thought already, that lap time was not valid. A 142.7, absolutely crazy quick, but just did not get the inbounds of the lap that we wanted to get. In the meantime, Stemmer has got that pole position to his name in the Ferrari. I mentioned I should turn on the manufacturers, and we will in just a second, as Devante goes in first with the Honda, the #2 car, currently leading, and it's all Ferraris and Hondas out in front of the grid. We see Bentley now up to 4th place. That's Wasner. Or up to 7th, I mean. Excuse me, with the #4 car, the Bentley. Then we can see some Astons, some McLarens a little bit further down. The odd BMW, Ford, Porsche, Nissan, and of course the Lexus a little bit further down the order as well. So lots of cars having done their first lap. Lots of them having been invalidated as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 laps being invalid already. It's movement now as well as the drivers are settling into their rhythm. As Kiss also goes a little bit too far over the lines and doesn't get that lap time going. We'll have that one deleted. Delfante, currently with that provisional pole, is going even quicker by about 2.5 tenths. So remember, Carrera's first lap time was a 42.7. Does it again. He repeats it. That just means that Delfante, with this 2.5 to 3 tenths delta, is dancing around that pole position in the first half of qualifying. Will also make use of every single part of the track. The Honda dancing around the final corner now. The delta shows purple, but will it be purple when he crosses the line? 142.7 is the benchmark, and he does so with 142.5, convincingly 1.5 tenths away from Carrera. Beautiful lap here as Bellic goes from 10th place, currently with a good improvement as well. Has 8 tenths on Delfante out in first, but the gaps are quite close. Like we saw in the Porsche Cup right behind, we currently have the top 14 within a second, and that's from the leader. The last race that we saw earlier today, we had the gaps counted from somewhere in the middle of the pack as Bellic goes up to 6th place and all the way down to 20th. That was about 10 cars within a second from P10. Now we're looking from 1st all the way to 15th inside of a second. And that is, of course, quite close. Lindblom on the later stages of the lap, also with a mega improvement, 43.7 currently to his name, will get a good jump up from 19th up to 8th with a 43.2. The gaps are slowing down. Bellic, by the way, with a Lamborghini, Castorino in 4th with a McLaren, Sabo in 9th with a BMW, Sav in 14th with a Ford. Everyone else appears to be on Hondas or Ferraris, as Delphante is once again on record pace. Caracas into the pits as we're approaching the halfway mark of our qualifying. So 3 laps done for Caracas. We'll have 3 laps more as he leaves the pits. Delphante holds pole, gets a nice cheeky little slipstream down the straight to improve by another 10th and increase the gap behind. So now he's just put Duivelaar and Gerard and Grzyback and also Van Rossum out of that second, but it would have been from 1st to 18th within a second, and that is mega close. Van der Meer in 10th, looking for an improvement as well. Everyone's looking for an improvement. Don't know why I keep saying that, but this is our number 11 Honda, currently sat in 10th place. Like I talked about before, we have our ELO system up in place, so you can see the lower numbers higher up on the grid and the higher numbers lower up on the grid. But not today. We see all numbers everywhere. That's partially due to the fact that it might just be the effects of a night race. You can't see the track as well as you can in the light. And I usually personally struggle with this a little bit every now and then. That's why you just can't see the lines. You can't see the brake markers as well if you have them somewhere on the track. It's all going to be muscle memory up to a certain point, up to a certain degree. Van der Meer will have that absolutely down. Currently in 11th with 7.5 tenths. Is going to jump all the way into P6. But 2 tenths improvement. That's a very nice lap. So we're following some cars through now, trying to get out of the pits and starting their lap. One of those drivers being Sav in the Ford. Let's see if we can have a listen to that car. So this American beast of a car doesn't even hit 6th gear on the straight here. What a sound. Oh. Just clean engine. Currently in 15th with a 143.4. It's currently a second away from the provisional pole position. Once again, top 15 within a second. Absolutely crazy work already. That goes for very close racing. Sav very close to his Delta as well. So this Ford not improving at a rate that he probably wants to. And looking for some improvement in this final sector. It's only 4 corners really, but it's still quite difficult to do something. And there he goes over the line, just a tiny bit too much. And that's all your improvement out of the way. Wasner currently in 20th. In the Bentley, was inside of the top 10 very shortly ago. Is now dropped all the way back down. The LFM esports car currently in 20th. It's looking for a small improvement. A 43.5 as it stands. Might have something to do with this final sector that he can get an improvement in. 2 more turns to go for the number 4 car, currently outside of the second of pole position. Will be in prime position to maybe get that 15th spot and get pole position for race number 2. Doesn't get the improvement, hits the wall actually on the exit of the final turn. Goes from 20th into 15th. That's how much a 10th can be, because he only improved by about a 10th. It's now back within that second, but is still not fast enough to get anything more than 15. The wall tap as well towards the end definitely trundles his hope. Stemmer, the car to make their first the first lap time on the board and the first runners of qualifying. Currently sat in 14th. The number 20 Ferrari making its way onto the track. Had an improvement, lost it here in the middle part of the track. We'll be looking for something here in the final sector. Currently in 14th place with a 143.2. Within that second of pole position as well. Provisional pole by Del Fonte. So there are improvements all across the board. Sav behind, went over the line, so we'll jump in with him just a moment as well. As we see Grzybek in 15th. Just jumping below Stemmer as well. Stemmer doesn't improve, actually. So goes a little bit further down. Sav now with another invalidation, unfortunately. Won't cross the line with an improvement. Is an improvement, but unfortunately it won't count. Wasner right behind in 16th. Gained a 10th on the previous lap. Is set to gain another 10th here. Currently has a 43.4 to his name. Yellow flag in sector 2 indicates a car going off at the bus stop. From 16th, 2 tenths gained, is now up to 10th. So there's a big jump there for Wasner, and this is what it is all about. These are the final margins as Grzybek goes up to 16th. We'll have to look out because Duivelaar was on a very, very good lap. Doesn't improve too much though, but from 18th, going to be jumping to 17th. Had a big improvement just a moment ago. Lost it all in that final part of the track. Lindblom in that stage as well. Over the line, we see Bucher from 12th, 2 tenths up to 4th. That's a very, very big jump for a very small improvement. And that's how tiny the margins are between all of these cars. It's so, so close out in front. Max with an improvement, but does go over the line. So that means your lap time will not count and it will be removed. The Lexus number 29 of Grzybek, currently 16th, had a good jump, had a good line, had a good lap. Gained some time as well in that middle sector. Lost it in the final one from 16th, 1/10 up. And he won't move. Currently still 16th. Gained a little bit of time, but not enough for a position as Stemmer is still right ahead of him. Now we're looking at the cars to set their final laps or maybe try for one more. There's only 1 minute remaining. The cars currently in Sector 1 will have no choice but to have that lap time solidified. These drivers currently in Sector 3 will still have one more try as they cross the line. Of course, in the dark, it's a little bit more difficult. It's colder, so your tires will not be up to temp quite easily. Carrera with a 10th gain will be enough to jump up to 2nd place and beat Castorino for that spot. A little bit further back, we have good improvements as well. We had good improvements, but they've all backed out of it. Wasner's gone back to the pits. Cavazar's gone back to the pits. Mex is in the pits. Szabo as well. Grzybek as well. Del Fonte dancing around his delta. Lost some in that uphill section of Sector 3. So was about to improve, but that ends up doing around the same time once more. So 42.4 is pole position. 42.9 now. It's a big loss in that final sector. So not a lot of drivers eligible to fight for that pole position. The one that is Caracas. Castorino right behind as well. But Caracas, his delta is dancing around that pole position mark. A bit further back, Foch as well with an improvement a little bit further back on the track. So we'll keep in touch with Caracas as he goes through, but made a mistake here in the ending of Sector 2, the middle part of the track. It's not really like him that much. We'll drop him down just a few tenths. It's going to be very, very close to me, and very difficult to make up that much time here in the final part of the track. Castorino across the line does get P2 away from Caracas. I'll have to fight for that. Currently 7 thousandths of a second, but doesn't look like Caracas can make that lazily through that final corner. Does he cross the line with an improvement? He does not. That's a 43.0, 3 tenths off. That'll be 3rd place for Caracas. Foch across the line. What can he do? From 8th place, jumps up to 4th place with only a 10th improvement. These are the margins that we talk about. Van der Meer across the line holds 8th place. It's now the 23 car of Silverio across the line. But this is your pole sitter for race number 1. it's Eric Del Fonte. P2 goes to Castorino, and P3 goes to Grant Caracas. And we should be able to walk right through the order as well. There we have it. Currently in first place, pole position for race number 1. It's going to be 4 minutes wait. I should have our grid walk ready. See if we can get that. Grid walk for the Pro Series. We have Castorino in... that's not Castorino in first place. This has not been solidified yet. This is the other way around. We should wait for a moment for these... for the qualifying positions to solidify for the grid. I forgot that usually takes a minute or two. But that was qualifying, quite close between everyone within the top 15. I think we had the top 15 within a second, definitely. I think Grzibek also got within that second. Duivelaar perhaps as well. Didn't get to see the final numbers too much, but we should be able to look at that back in the stream. Very, very beautiful sights for this qualifying. Currently night, waiting for that 20-minute race to start. About 3 minutes left on our timer, and then we have around 3 minutes for our formation lap. We should have time enough to go through the grid. Currently 31 cars on the grid. Lots of cars that we've seen, lots of drivers that we've seen on the previous race in the Porsche Cup as well. So that's always nice to see. Let's see if the grid has updated or not. We should see Eric Del Fonte pop up now. There we have him. Eric Del Fonte, the number 2 car, currently in first place. Pole position for race number 1. Castorino takes P2 in this qualifying session. And we have Caracas in third place. It's a little bit dark. We can kind of make out the liveries anyway. Fudge in 4th place, the classic sticker livery. The number 10 car in 4th. Bucher, great qualifying as well, in 5th place. Alvarado will join him on row number 3 in 6th. Car that's very barely visible, but it's a Ferrari nonetheless. Max in 7th. Some invalidations on the road for all of these drivers as well. We're looking at Van der Meer now in 8th place. The number 11 car doing a good job at qualifying as well. Bellink having a big jump in the middle part of qualifying as well. Goes up to 9th. Cavaza in 10th now, the number 15 car putting his Ferrari into the top 10. And just outside of the top 10 we have Sasha Wasner in P11, a Halloween-inspired livery. As we are approaching that holiday, of course. Silverio in 12th. We'll be starting alongside Wasner and also alongside Lindblom in 13th place. Pixel Pilot's car, number 8. Sabo in the number 18. We'll be starting on P14. Simrise Racing Team. Stremmer with a good first few laps. Drops down to 15th. And the Petrol brothers not happy with that position. Will try to fight back as Grzibek gets 16th place in the number 29 Lexus. Duivelaar on the edge of that second in qualifying. Number 7 in 17th. Kiss as well with a good run, but did get a disqualification in 18th. Number 17 car at the number 14th. Sav in 19th place. The cars are dropping down and getting their lights on. And this is the absolutely most beautiful livery. Giraud in 20th, the cars livery. Being followed by Voigt with the same livery, same team. It's absolutely gorgeous to look at. Michael Fry with a podium that we saw. There we have him on the in the Porsche Cup in another Porsche. See what he can do from P22. Van Rossum in 23rd, number 12 car. Dropping back a tiny bit. Richter in the number 19 car in 24th for today's first race. Diniz in 25th with the 25 car, of course, as it should. Angel in the number 24 car in 26th. Then we have Pluderman in 27th. The German McLaren Apex Predator Sim Racing. Bratschke in 28th. The other Pixel Pilots car as Rancagno with a beautiful overtake. The other Predator Racing team See what he can do from 29th, so we can make some more overtakes like we saw on the Porsches. Swartz, the Apex Predators Sim Racing in 30th, and Hoffman from last on the grid from the Colorworks Racing team. Let's see what he can make out of this for this race number 1. Looking at Delphante now. It seems like an age since we saw him. Formation lap currently off, going towards sector number 2. It's dark. The drivers will have to work their way through the heat cycle of the brakes and the heat cycle of the tires to get them all up to temperature for the first part of this race. Of course, remember that we have 2 races. Race number 1 will be 20 minutes long, and then race number 2 will be 40 minutes long, with a pit stop in the middle of all of that. And they will have the top 15 reversed. So there is some part of strategy playing along with all of that. So the top 15 will be reversed. If you finish in pole position, you will be dropped down to 14th up to 15th place. If you are in P15, you will start on pole position for race number 2. Of course, makes for some interesting climbs and some interesting drops, but also some very, very interesting opportunities. So some drivers are having a little bit of a bad luck in race number 1, being dropped just outside of the top 10, will definitely have a chance to retake a fight and get that all the way up to the podium positions and get their redemption round. It's almost like I was waiting for the cars to appear, and then the lights came shining in. So I was thinking, like, why we're looking at a piece of scenery, but it was the track, of course, just very, very dimly lit. I have a hard time looking at some of the action as well, so please be patient as I call some of these drivers' names wrong, and as I will inevitably do. You can look at the numbers on the side of the cars. Some of them have them, some of them don't. Of course, we'll have some replays as we go on. Should have something of the sorts ready for you to enjoy as well, so we can have our names all correctly done. Cars now lining up in double file for the race start, the final 2 corners. So you see everyone else behind slot in as well. Delphante will have the inside line for turn number 1. Gastorino will be in second, trying to pounce, trying to look for something here. And it will be Delphante with the first shot on this straight. It's going to be a rolling start here at Watkins Glen. Delphante on the right hand side of your screen will be the left hand side right about now. Gastorino on the right hand side now. We'll have the outside for turn number 1. We're waiting for it to be green. And there it is. The green flags are out at Watkins Glen, and we can see exactly how well the start goes for Delphante, because he's already passed Gastorino before we even reach turn number 1. So Gastorino drops into second place. Foch and Carrera now fighting for that third place. Foch currently looking on the outside line, will have the line for it, as Carrera will have to back out of this one in just a moment's time. Big contact in the back, or a lot of small contacts in the back, as Foch takes away third place from Carrera. That's a beautiful little run on to turn number 4. It's a big side-by-side action a little bit further back. We see Bellic here in a fight. No cars being dropped just yet. Everyone going through this section all unharmed. And there is a car off there. I think that's Voigt maybe dropping back down the order. Lots of small contacts happening here in the middle of all of this. Voigt is dropping back a tiny bit. That's in the red car. He's braking a little bit early, and that's a big contact in the middle of the grid. Someone there must have touched something a little bit off the line further back down. I'll have to see what the first contact was of all of this. And we have some small contacts here, but we can't really see what the big yellow flag was. I can have that replay here for a moment. See if we can catch that off the back here. Giraud here with the first tap. Let's see if he can get anything done here. Is on the inside line. See what happens. Tap someone on the rear, and there's a big yellow flag. That's big contact, and they're all off to the side. So that little tap from Giraud will have made that entire accident happen, and that is going to be a massive, massive job for the stewards to figure out what exactly went on there. Our top guys are still running as they were. And that being said, that's Delphante and Castorino as they were. Forge has taken away a spot from Caracas, and then all the way down to 10th, it will be as they were. Silverio now takes one away from Wasner to make that just outside of the top 10, up to P11. Of course, we have some big swaps further down in the grid because we have Giraud being pushed back all the way down. Trying to see if we can get that open. Just now we see within the top 10, it's only Fudge and Caracas swapping positions. Then everyone behind gaining 6 places. Because if we look further back, see minus 14 for Divelaar, minus 15 for Stemmer, 9 for Giraud, 10 for Kiss, and then 6 for Void. Fry possibly also being caught up in all of that because he's gone equal on his position. Dennis and Angel now having a little fight as Fry is up against Plodeman, who has lost some times, dropping back down the order. Has gone past Brachka as well, so we are looking at some more fighting here in the midfield. Brachka going on through, looking at Plodeman on the right hand side of the screen. The Apex Predator Sim Racing following on behind. There he is, very closely, almost getting attacked by Swartz as well. Hoffman is in this fight too. Rancanho in the back of that fight, as we see Stemmer and Duivar already in the pits. They'll be doing some repairs to their cars. There's a look. And that's Hoffman on through. That's Hoffman having a big send on Swartz, and he goes a little bit too deep and loses the place to Swartz again. And Rancanho on through. Void back on through as well. We saw Void losing out in the first part of that chicane as well, and we should be able to take a quick look out in front as Delphante is setting faster and faster laps. This is the run for the top runners. Delphante currently being chased down by Castorino, who takes away that fastest lap by just under a 1/10 of a second. Second place for Castorino, still solid. Has some chances, but we see Delphante there out in first place on the back straight on towards the bus stop chicane. It's always going to be a difficult one, especially with these many cars so close to each other, but they're all following in the same lines. Just hoping for no mistakes. Fudge a little bit wide there. Caracas a bit more curb, and that's going to make it very easy for Caracas to get back into the sights of Fudge, who's running all over the place. Car still going through. We will have to look a little bit more special for this Ferrari to pass that Ferrari. I think we saw Fudge with a little bit of a wider car last time around, but he's brought his stickers over to his number 10 Ferrari for Watkins Glen as well. Last season, I believe, was in a little bit of a bigger car than this Ferrari. But now he's chosen the Italian car to take some points away from the competition. Of course, Caracas being one of those competitions. The number 1 car currently in 4th place. Has lost the spot to Fudge. So Fudge gaining that on the opening lap. Beautiful combination of corners there. See if we can get a better angle on that big crash. I think I had a very, very bad angle on that one. As we go towards the replay here, so we can get the helicam going. This is Giraud in the red car in the middle of all of this. Has some contact there with the car ahead. And that one goes sideways. Gets some more. There were more taps involved in the middle of all of that. Don't think there was too much that anyone could do at that point. Lots of stuff happening in the middle of all of that. So I think we have some uncertainties in that incident as well. There were some small taps leading up to some bigger taps. Stewards are going to have the field day with that one to figure out who was at fault and what exactly happened and what will be the repercussions. The first 6 minutes done, 14 minutes remaining. Delphante standing strong. I want to say standing strong, but it's looking like he's got someone very close, and that someone is Amadeo Castorino. The McLaren looking quite strong here. The Honda, of course, as well. We saw Delphante on the next few corners, for this corner actually that we just passed, steer before he even braked for the turn. As we do have Kiss and Dennis as well into the pits. That is for possibly damage repair as well, because they are stationary as it stands, looking to drop all the way down to the back of the grid. And Delphante, the number 2 Honda, having our lead, but Fudge having the fastest lap of the race, is chasing these guys down. You can see the gap between Castorino and Delphante a little bit bigger than it is down to 3rd place. And Carrera is quite close as well. So will Delphante run away with it is the question. Will this be the fastest lap of the race? It won't be, but it will be for Samir Fodge. Just a tiny bit quicker than Delphante on this previous lap. But Delphante, funnily enough, crossing the line. So that lap from Delphante would have been the fastest lap until Fodge crossed the line. But it was invalid. Castorino, his fastest lap of the race, just a little bit slower as well. Carrera exactly on pace with what the cars ahead are doing. So they're all going quite quickly. Bucher with a little bit of contact with Alvarado maybe. Watkins says Bucher with the contact. So starting in 5th. Still in 5th place. No one shuffling anywhere else within the top 10. It's just the guys out in front. Bellic is in 9th place though, chasing down on Van der Meer. So he's within half a second. This is not usually a corner that you do a lot of overtaking in. You might send one around the outside. It is possible, very much so. Just going to be very, very difficult to do. The number 21 Lamborghini. Absolute slapper of a qualifying. Fantastic starting position to be 9th. And then going up. And there's the crash for the back. Is that Fry? That is Fry, who's just reset back to the pits. Can we see what happened with the number 9 car? If we can get the replay going. Let's see what's happened here. This is Michael Fry. This is the middle part of the track. Sector 2. Well, there he goes. It's a slide all on his own. And then he's backwards. And that granted him enough speed to go him back to the pits. As right, we'll have a look at the front runners once more. As Fry goes down all the way to 27th place. As everyone else behind is still in the pits. Kiz does go out eventually. There's a very long stationary pit, but he is out on track again. Kiz being currently in the number 17 car. It's currently heading up the hill. The right-hander. So we'll see the minimap on the right-hand side of the screen. On the top side of the track, we can see the number 17 trundle across the track. Now closing into the top speed. Getting all of that settled back into racing with the newly repaired car. And Alvarado and Bucher have swapped positions. Don't know if we can take a look at that. It's the number 13 and the number 30. That must be some contact. It says accident right here. Don't know if it was an accident. Bucher on the left-hand side, now on the inside. Must have been some small taps here going up the hill. Let's see if we can get a good helicam of the situation here. That will be... oh, there's the small tap. That's Alvarado on the left-hand side getting past. And now up to 5th place, leaving Bucher behind in 6th. Delphante's got a very small gap behind, but luckily Castorino has got his hands full with Fodge trying to get him past him. Fodge has got his hands full with Carrera trying to get past. So it's now a 4-way fight still for first. So it's still anyone's game. But Castorino is dropping back behind Delphante a little bit further than he would have liked. If you look at the times. Has gone back up to it on this lap though. Getting about 2/10. I think it was just on slipstream there on the final part of that lap. So they are going in tandem, the 4 of them, for first place. The fight's still on. We're halfway through race number 1. And remember, because this race is a little bit shorter than race number 2, you get a little bit less points as well compared to race number 2. So the most amount of points are being given for that second race, but you can still get a good amount of points here for the first one. Now Bucher now dropping down the order. Let's see what happens here. Bucher is still racing. See if we can get back on the replay by about 30 seconds. See what happens. Currently looking at Bucher here in to be in the front of the pack, I believe. Or is that on the outside? It is on the outside here for Bucher. Will be going off on the bus stop chicane. It does keep the car straight, just barely. But that gives Bucher a little bit of a drop back. He's currently down in 10th position. He's got Silverio right behind him. So that has dropped him down to 10th, about 5 spots back from where he started. Contact again now as we see Pluderman with a yellow flag. Number 27 car, see what happened here. Because there definitely was an incident here. Pluderman now in the 27 car leading this fight. It's contact, I believe. The car behind with the number 22 car possibly. That's a little slide. That's a contact. A turn in. That's actually Bratschke in the 27 car. And Pluderman in the 22 car has dropped down the order. So unfortunately, Pluderman, being part of that incident, has dropped down. It's gone back to the pits, and we're not in the replay anymore. We are live. This is Samir Foch trying to chase down Amadeo Castorino still, who's trying to chase down Eric Delfante for that first place. These 4 have been added since lap number 1. The gap's 3/10 each. So it's closer than ever. We're looking at this tremendous fight because the podium place could go to anyone. One crash between these and the win might go to Alvarado in 5th place. You never know. Anything can happen with these 4 out in front. Wasner in the meantime taking the spot off of Silverio, trying to chase down Bucher for that P10. Wasner in the number 4 car currently in 11th place. Bucher lost 5 already, so everyone ahead of him gained 5. It's always nice to see. If you're ahead of him, it's a little bit less nice to see if you are Bucher himself. Foch in 3rd. It's got Caracas right behind him. He's in the back of this pack. He's got the best view of all of these cars. You can see all the lines that everyone takes. Maybe it's a nice little indicator of how fast you should be going. Also the driver with the most luck on slipstream. Castorino dropping back a tiny bit now from Delfante. We can see this. I was going to say you can see the gap, but it's a little bit bigger compared to the guys behind. We should be able to see that here cleanly. There it is. So Delfante doing a great job. Fastest lap on that previous lap between these 4, still in the hands of Caracas. The slowest in the hands of Delfante. But I do want to say, though, it's very, very close. It's 2 thousandths of a second difference between Delfante to Foch. It's 13 thousandths of a second from Foch to Castorino. And then about half a tenth quicker is Grantas Caracas in 4th. So they're all getting closer to each other, with Delfante having the slowest and Caracas having the fastest. Means the gap from 1st to 4th is only shrinking as it stands. So Castorino, now closer than ever to Delfante, will have a prime time view of the car in front. We see some yellow flags or some incident markers in the middle of the pack. I almost don't want to look away for this. But there was a yellow flag a little bit further back. This is for the number 8 car. This is from David Lindblom. See what happens here. A few cars going side by side into the bus stop chicane. There's the contact. Lindblom being sent towards the outside, rejoining on the track, and driver slowing down. That's where all the white flags are coming from. White flags are for the cars that are slowing down. So that means that if someone rejoins and you slow down a tiny bit, you will cause a white flag for being a slow car, but of course that's all for safety. Final 5 minutes have already started, so about 3 more laps now for these drivers to make their choice. That's Castorino a bit wide. That will be track limits for sure. Let's hope for him that that is only his 1st or 2nd warning. If he's got his 3rd now, that means he has to play it very, very safe in this part of the race, where he cannot afford to play it safe at all. Delfante will run away with it, and Foch will put up the attack. Caracas will put up the attack, and that's currently Castorino's job. The only one who can realistically defend is Delfante. The only driver that can look to defend, that's Caracas off. Caracas off to the side, into the gravel, and out of this fight into the barriers. It's now become a 3-way fight for the lead. Foch has been released. The car that needed to defend from Caracas has been released now and can set his sights on to Castorino. Caracas and Alvarado have been fighting. Alvarado's now off. That must have been something there as well. You can check to the replay here for the number 1 car. See what happened. This is Caracas on the side of the track will rejoin, and that's cleanly, that's safely. It's into this left-hander that something happened. Carrera on the inside, and that's a small tap. That's going to send him all the way through. That's Alvarado into the pits. He's currently in 25th place. We can't afford to look at this any longer. We have to look at the front guys, at this podium battle. And like I said, anything can happen. You can have one crash and suddenly Alvarado can be first. The other part can also happen. A crash in Alvarado all the way down. Carrera does have 7 seconds ahead of him. No chance of retaking that podium position off of Fudge unless something big happens. Bellic now with a yellow flag as well. Out of turn 1. Will do a nice little turn there to get his car settled back onto the racing track. Will drop down all the way out of the top 10. And now into 16th and 17th even as Grzybek goes through. Gastorino holds on to second. Fudge is looking offensive, but not offensive enough for his liking. The number 5 car chasing down Del Fonte now for the win. It's got a little bit less pressure now that he doesn't have to worry about Carrera. If he loses a place because he misses an overtake, it's only going to be 3rd place for Castorino. The lap times are looking tremendous as well. A 43.2 for Del Fonte, 43.2 for Castorino, 43.1 for Fudge. So these gaps are coming down even further with Del Fonte once again having the slowest lap and Fudge having the fastest lap. So the gaps between 1st and 3rd are just dropping every single lap. Good showing though from all of these drivers. Castorino, I believe, holding P1 in the championship for now, but he will try to extend that lead by getting Del Fonte on this lap as well, because this will be the final lap. The next time around, we will have the checkered flag for race number 1. Del Fonte a little bit further down in the standings, I believe in 5th at the moment. We'll make a good jump in points with this result. And remember, once again, the small points are being given for this race. The big points will be given for race number 2, and with the reverse grid in place. So as it stands, Philip Richter will be in pole position and Del Fonte will be starting in 15th place. And that means that Grzybek will be looking to get that 15th place away. We'll look at that as soon as these 3 lads finish their race. Checkered flag will be out in about 10 seconds. That's when they'll enter the last sector of the track. They'll fight it out. They have fought already from start to finish. It's been Fudge past Carrera on lap number 1. And then it's been these 3 with Carrera in the rear fighting for almost the entire race. Carrera making a mistake, dropping back about 7 seconds. And now he's fighting with a damaged car, trying to see if Max can get that overtake done, but Carrera's obviously not wanting that to happen. He's trying to stay ahead of the number 6 car as the checkered flag is out. We're looking at Del Fonte, we're looking at Castorino, we're looking at Fudge, and it does look like Eric Del Fonte with Energy Sim Racing will take the win in race number 1. The number 2 Honda will cross the line in 1st. Castorino will take 2nd place, and Samir Fudge will have 3rd place to his name. Carrera still coming home in 4th. Max will take 5th place. Van der Meer in 6th, right ahead of Savasa. Bucher in 8th. Wasner in 9th. And then around the top 10, we see these guys all come in. Richter will have P15 to his name. Angel is currently with the yellow flag, dropping all the way back to 24th. That must have been an incident as well, unfortunately. For these drivers, that still happens on the final lap of the race. But your race winner for race number 1, we have Eric Del Fonte. So he will be starting in 15th place, and from 15th we will have Philip Richter on pole position for race number 2. So that means our first grid will start in just a few minutes time. We'll have a quick little break between these races, and we will be back shortly with race number 2. And we'll have, actually, let's go through the results of the standings for the Porsche Cup. We should have that all updated now as well. A week's counted, race number 4, exactly. These are the points. It's exactly even to Caracas and Santon. Remember, this is for the Porsche Cup, the PTT Racing Porsche Carrera Cup. This is from the race that we had before. Caracas and Santama are tied for P number 1 currently in the standings. So this is it all further down the order. These are all updated after today's race, after today's event. While we're waiting for race number 1 to conclude. These are the Porsche Cup standings from the race that we had before. We should maybe be able to get the results from race 1 in a moment's time as well. But in the meantime, we will head over to the studio for our quick little break, and then we'll be right back with race number 2. just realized I've been muted this entire time. I've been speaking for about 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I've been muted. I've been talking about all kinds of things in the past 10 minutes. Apologies for the lack of commentary there for the past 10 minutes. I just went on to the results for race number 1, then on to the standings that have been updated. We saw some good jumps in the field. Didn't realize that the mic was off. I don't have the chat open, unfortunately, so for those screaming at me for the past 10 minutes, apologies for the inconvenience. But we are looking at the start for race number 2 in a few moments' time. See the waiting time on the top, about 2 minutes, and then we'll get another 4 or 5 minutes before I can repeat all the information that I've said. See if I can remember all of it. So, as we looked at the results from race number 1, we had, of course, Delphante winning the race. We'll be starting in 15th place. We first were looking at, I believe that's Philip Richter, who's currently sat in the pits. The number 19 car will start on pole position. There we have him, way out in first place, Philip Richter for the pole position for race number 2. About 40 minutes is what the race is. It says so right there on the top. And we will have a pit window of about 20 minutes into this race. So they'll have 10 minutes of racing, then followed by 20 minutes of a pit window. See some drivers coming in already at the start of that pit window. Lots of drivers coming in around the 20-minute mark halfway through the race, and then the final drivers will extend their first stint for as long as possible to get that tire advantage in the final 10 minutes where the pit window is closed, and it will be just clean racing from then onwards. So everyone will have to do their one stop. If they don't, they'll be disqualified from the race. It's of course something that you don't want to happen, especially if you're Philip Richter. You've been given this amazing chance to get this show on the road. Start from the front row. Start from the first place on the grid. And give yourself that nice little advantage. What else did I miss throughout all of this? I think I complimented some of the drivers on making the jump up into some of these... into some of these positions in the championship. I think we saw Delphante going from 5th to 3rd. He might be able to make some more inroads on the top guys if we look at the standings. But we should have some time to go through the grid now. If the grid has been updated or not, it has not been. So that means that this is not Eric Delphante. This is Philip Richter. So that means that we'll have to take a moment and wait for that to update. See if we can get some good angles here. Unsure if we can actually. This is still TV1, that's still TV2. It still looks all the same. So we're looking from the helicam for now. So like I said, it always takes a few moments for the grid to update. And that can take a few moments. It should be done before we get started with our formation lap. We have lost one driver, currently 30 on the grid, registered and ready to race for race number 2. Now, a 40-minute race, conditions haven't changed much, if at all. We have some wind now. Unsure if that was there already beforehand or not. Take number 2 on the grid walk. See if it has been updated. It still has not, so that means we'll have to wait for a little while longer. Like I said, it usually takes a few minutes, but this is more than a few minutes. We are hoping to get this this grid walk started in just a moment. We are just waiting for our livery to be for our grid walk to be updated. Currently looking at Philip Richter, pole position, P15 finish for race number 1. Some points on the board, but a bigger chance for more points today. About 5 seconds, the cars will be starting to drop. And they'll all be ready to start racing. We can see that from the front here as well. All the cars, actually, this is a little bit of a better angle. There we have the lights coming on. It's 30 seconds remaining. The drivers will get their cars down on the grid. And they'll wait as long as possible to keep the heat into the tires and see if we can hit our grid walk now. Will this be updated? It still is not. I don't believe we'll get an updated grid walk. But you know what? Let's just do it ourselves. Philip Richter in position number 1 with the number 19 McLaren will get pole position. Standing alongside Laurens van Rossum in the number 12 Ferrari has the front row locked out. Lindblom in 3rd place with the number 8 Honda. Sav following close behind in the Master Race, car number 14 Ford. Severio had a good run. The number 23 car in the Lexus will be starting in 5th next to Sabo. The number 18 BMW in 6th place. Sasha Wasner, the Bentley of LFM Esports, into 7th place. Bucher in 8th place. The number 13 Eurobeat intensifies. Ferrari. Cavazza in number 15 car in P9. Van der Meer in 10th place with the number 11 car. Max in 11th place with the number 6 car, finishing 5th place in race number 1. And Grantas Caracas finishing 4th place will get that 12th place start. Foch on the podium will be pushed down to 13th place. Castorino to 14th place for that 2nd place. And a race victor from race number 1 will have our 15th place position for him. That's Eric Del Fonte. And for the back, we have our the finishers, that the drivers that finished in this order. It's Grzibek in number 29 Lexus in 16th place. Bellic unfortunately dropped down to 17th after a mega start. We'll be starting from 17th now for race number 2. Voigt in 18th place. It's also moving around here with Roncagno in 19th and Brachke in 20th. They are as they are right now, I believe. This will be the starting order of the two as well. Schwartz in 21st, followed by Mario Hoffman in 22nd. Colorworks Racing Team. Good run from, I believe that was last, up to 22nd. So that's very nice. Gerard called in an incident. Number 3 car will be starting from 23rd on the grid. And this is all the drivers that were part of an incident. Kiss got out of the pits at some point and got back to racing again. Again, P24 out of it. Angel in P25. Bloodeman also got collected at some point. Got P26. Fry all the way further down as well in an incident. 27th. Dennis in 28th. Duivelaar will have 29th. And then last we have Stremmer, our benchmark driver in qualifying, will start last on the grid. Will be handed that 30th place. So 40 minutes is what we have remaining in the race. 40 minutes is what we're going to see. The drivers definitely eager to start. Philip Richter on pole position. Van Rossum right alongside him. The lights are flashing on the Ferrari of Van Rossum. I was almost going to start talking German there. I am not even German, so I'm definitely confused about what's going on there. I'm not confused as to what's going to happen in turn number 1. We're going to see some absolute action here. Side-by-side runs up the hill as we're approaching the final turn. I'm going to have to see who gets the best run up to turn number 1, up the hill and into the bus stop for the first big braking zone. Towards the long right-hander. Turn 1 is a big braking zone as well. They're not on full speed just yet there, though. So the bus stop chicane isn't a good braking zone either. But we are looking at Philip Richter on the right-hand side of the screen right now. Currently going to the timing line for Olsen on the left-hand side. Let's see who gets green first. It's the flag out, and Richter away quite well. A little bit for the back. It's Wasner a little bit further back as well with a good run. It's currently Richter who has the position in P number 1. Van Rossum stays in 2nd. Silverio behind, though, gets a good run here on the inside of Sav, who drops back a little bit. Sabo had a good start as well. He's got Wasner to the left-hand side of him as well. It's going to be slotting in. A bit of a sloppy move there for Wasner to slot in behind. It's currently side-by-side for P number 1. It's Van Rossum who takes the place away from... looking to take the place away from Richter, but who does keep the spot. Sav behind is looking to go a little bit sideways, out of shape. Holds on to P5 for now as they're heading on to the middle of sector number 2. The number 9 car of Michael Fry has been dropped down to last place. Side by side here for Bucher, who's fighting with Wasner, but is dropped back again. It's got Salazar right behind him as well. The Ferrari, the number 15, looking for a spot for the back as well. Is that Mex, who's gone alongside one of the other drivers. I think it's Delfante actually, and Foch fighting a little bit further back here in front as well. Mex actually in the middle of the guys that aren't fighting. So Salazar is trying to get an overtake on books as Caracas is making his way through. This is Mex currently trying to defend from Caracas, trying to retake that position. But it is Caracas eventually who holds on to that spot. Max has got his nose in still, but does back out now on the final left-hander of the track, onto the final right-hander of the track. And Caracas is up to 11th place from the start. Everyone is still within the reds. That means that they are within half a second. So it's very, very close. Silverio now up to 4th place. We see some fighting here as well with Caracas having some more looks to go back up. Silverio and Sav now fighting on their way up the hill. It's tremendously close between all of these drivers. And Sav looking ahead of him, seeing Silverio a little bit side-by-side action. Is going to be trying to get a move on Richter, who's been dropped back from 1st place, now down to 4th. Van Rossum holds on to 1st place kind of cleanly now. Lindblom is through in 2nd. Silverio now in 3rd place. We're going to see the positions delta in about a minute's time. Now Richter has to defend from Sav behind, who has got a visitor, and that is Zabo. He's trying to take away 5th place. The first 2 laps looking hectic already. There's a defensive move there from Sabo, as we have Bucher trying to take away another spot. Has to go the long way around and now leaves himself vulnerable from behind. Wasner is there already as well. I believe that Salazar having a little look towards the inside. The entire train following as well. No one's daring to go for an overtake into these final turns of the track. To say that, we will have Caracas and Van der Meer swapping places, with Caracas on the inside, Van der Meer dropping back 1. It does look like Caracas is on the chase. Currently has Salazar right in front of him. One of the drivers he was fighting with before, I believe, almost, I think, from the looks of it. But he's gaining an amazing amount of time here from the start. Van Rossum and Lindblom now fighting on the start-finish straight. Van Rossum still staying ahead. The gap to Severio just about a second. It's lots of movement here in the middle of the pack. And like we see, Severio up 2 places, Richter down 3, Caracas up 2. Delfante's up 1. Foch is down 2 places, so down in 15. That's where Caracas started. And we do have Grzibek down 2 spots. Bellic and Voigt have both taken 1. Castorino is now through on Mex as well. Trying to chase down Caracas. Has Van der Meer right in front of him. That'll be a close look as well. So number 5 chopping his way through the field, trying to compete with his rival Caracas. This is his rival for the championship. Caracas has got some cars in front of him to pass first. I'm looking from his point of view. This is Caracas currently behind Salazar, who is on the right-hand side. The number 15, you can just barely see his car. So you got Wasner right in front of him, the orange car. That is Caracas around the outside of the number 15 Ferrari. Wasner our next target, next corner even. Caracas dares to send it on the inside. Let's see what the outcome is of that. He backs out of it. Doesn't get the overtake. Wasner holding on to 8th for now. Caracas doing a good job. Trying to find his way through. Van Rossum and Lindblom have broken loose a tiny bit. And Silverio is still quite close. Richter is now 2 seconds away. Silverio puts in the fastest lap of the race. Trying to chase down this top 2. And once again, it's a top 3 fight as it stands. We still have our pit window. That will open in about 4 minutes time. That's when the drivers can start to make their undercuts. Because as you can see on the minimap on the right hand side of your screen, everyone is kind of bunched up now. So if I'm Caracas, I would say go in light early, right? Go in light, take absolutely no view. Just make sure you can span the first 10-15 minutes. And then go on an absolute rampage. Go into the pits, get some clean air, get a very, very good stint. Make sure you can conserve your tires. There's no dirty air either. So it is going to be very, very heavy now for the second half of this race. If he does choose to pit in the middle half, exactly on the 20-minute mark. For now, we are looking at a massive fight here still. Carrera's got past the Wasner. Now Sav is going to be the next target. Very good on the brakes there for the number 1 car. He's gained so much time here as well. A little bit further ahead, we have some fighting going on for 4th place. This is Richter on the way on the left-hand side of the screen. There you have him. Trying to defend from Sabo behind. So Caracas has got past Sav there. That's very, very late on the brakes for Bucher, who's trying to get past. But it's Sabo who still holds on to 5th place. Bucher now with the slipstream might look for something into turn 1. Does decide to stay behind. So wants to take his chances a little bit later on. Yellow flag is still out. I believe that's for Fry still in the pits. See if that does anything. He is stationary, so that shouldn't be a yellow flag at all. In the meantime, Lindblom has a good look. I was going to go on board, but I don't think that's possible anymore. So Lindblom having to back out of it, lifting off, not going for it at all. That was the sensible choice there. Caracas and Sav also had to back out of this fight. Bucher is trying to defend his hardest, but he does have 2 of the fastest guys on the track at the moment, right behind him. And Wasner is close as well. Savasa's close. Castorino's close. It's just everyone who's quick is right behind Bucher, who also isn't a slow driver. Let me remind you, these guys are all quick. But just the train of power currently that's behind you. Caracas getting 4th place. Castorino with the 2nd place as well. The only driver that we haven't seen too much of is Del Fonte now. Still in 15th. So hasn't gained any spots. Fortress has taken down Max and is now in 13th place. Sabo is very close behind Richter. Gaps increased by another second to the car ahead. It's about half a second per lap. The train is now starting to form. It's now become a fight for 4th place. And the podium position slipping out of hands quicker and quicker. So on the next lap, they'll have the chance to go into the pits first. Silverio with the fastest lap in 3rd place, trying to chase down Lindblom as well. Caracas, look on the inside. A bit wide there for Bucher. Now trembles under the pressure. Sav going through now as well. Wasner going through. Fortunately can rejoin. Will that be correctly though? A bit wide, a bit slow. Castorino will go through here on the right hand side. Does so nice and cleanly. Bucher with a good rejoin. Tries to pick up the scraps here. Van der Meer right behind him. And up ahead, Wasner side by side now with the car around him. Trying to go to him on the replay, on the visuals, but this doesn't seem to happen. Just now, Sabo dropped down a little bit. He's now fighting with Caracas. He's in the middle of all this. Who's trying to get past Richter as well. Caracas making absolute work out of this. Up 7 places is going to make that position number 8. Is up to 4th as Richter is in trouble now with Sabo trying to take away that spot too. Side by side now are the McLaren and the BMW on their way to sector number 3 with the pit window open. For the next 20 minutes, the drivers will have their pick of time to go into the pits. And Sabo now through, immediately has Sav as a visitor, knocking on his back door, saying, I want through, please let me go. Richter's gonna try his hardest to defend. I have to see how long that's going to last, because he's also got, Sav's got Wasner behind him as well, so that might play into his hands a little bit more. Because if Sav misses an overtake, and here's the first guys in, it's Castorino in, Savasa in, Foch in, and lots of drivers in actually. can't keep up with it as they're dropping down the order. But everyone who's just dropped out of your view, those drivers have all gone into the pits. So that is for now. Castorino, Salazar, Forge, Bucher, Delphante, Kiss, and Stemmer have all gone into the pits at the earliest opportunity. This is exactly what I mentioned. If I was Caracas, if I was Delphante, I would pit very, very early on. Get your clean air and then absolutely send it. They've listened to the strategy and they're going to try and do exactly that. Gain some time on this second stint. Started off strong with 30 minutes that they have done on the Porsche Cup as well. It's definitely possible to do these 30 minutes on one set of tires with also minimal fuel, minimal tire wear. Should be very, very easily doable. These guys trying to do the reverse, staying out for as long as possible, getting that first stint down, and then tire advantage, taking away chips of time from the guys ahead. Remember, it is Watkins Glen. It's not a track that you can easily overtake at unless you're marginally quicker than the guys ahead. Then you should be able to get an overtake done. But there's not too many overtaking spots besides turn number 1. And of course, after the bus stop, you have some spots. So hairpins as well, where it's very difficult to really set up a move. So track position will be everything. That's what the guys that are currently trundling in sector number 2 will be looking for. And all starts with the number 10 car, as Silverio and Lindblom are fighting for that second place. The Caracas now with the fastest lap is right behind them. The gap from fastest lap just went from, I think, 43.5 to 43.1. That means Caracas is putting up an absolute banger of a stint already. More drivers into the pits. It's Rancagno, Swartz, currently 21st and 22nd. Richter now dropping down behind Wasner. He's trying to look for a retake into the bus stop. Doesn't go for it wisely enough. Backs out of it. Lifts off a little bit. Goes for the normal racing line. These three still fighting for 6th place, with Sav in 6th. Number 14 holding on to that place. And has lost 2 spots. Started in 4th. As Giraud goes up to 12th place. This is a 4-way fight here for 12th place as well. Currently 13th for Zibek. Belik trying to send a move around the outside. A little bit too deep for the number 29, and that's a good overtake for the 21 Lamborghini up to 13th place. Putting on the pressure, faking a move, braking earlier, and getting the overtake done. Textbook stuff for Kevin Belik. So trying to gain more than the 4 places that he's already gained. It's a great qualifying. Shame of a first race, but of course, small points for race number 1. Big points for race number 2. The pit window just open. Let's see who goes in for a stop now. Caracas even quicker. Van der Meer will go into the pits. Sav has just overtaken Wasner on the straight here. But all eyes are currently on Caracas, the number 1, currently in 4th place. 7/10ths quicker on the previous lap, compared to 9/10ths quicker even compared to the guys ahead. So he's getting about a second every single lap. As we have a fight for the lead here. Severio and Van Rossum are trading positions. Lindblom looking to join this fight. It was for first. Severio's now dropped down a few tenths more. Lindblom having a little look, is sniffing that diffuser a little bit too closely. We can see the point of view from the number 8 car here entering sector 3. The pace of these guys is about even. 43.8, 43.9, 43.0. Gonna be scared though, because Caracas behind in the 43.1 is getting closer very quickly. By far the fastest man on the track. But the guys that have stopped already are doing 43s as well. 43.7 for Foch, 43.5 for Castorino, 43.9 for Bucher, 43.8 for Delphante. So they're not as quick, but they're running about equal times that Van Rossum and Severio are doing right now. Granted that Severio and Van Rossum are on lower fuel loads than the guys that have already stopped, because they're planning to do their stop within the next 15 minutes, as they have to, or otherwise they'll risk getting a disqualification to their name and losing all the points that they would have gotten in their finishing position. Fights now happening between the pitted cars already. Bucher in 21st. Remember, these guys have stopped already, so they have some margin of error. Of course, these are not their finishing positions as it stands right now. Del Fante trying to go for a stop to maybe increase his chances here. Van der Meer not wanting any of this, letting Del Fante go, opening the door quite far and sending the number 2 Honda on through. So Del Fante maybe gambling on the fact that he would have gotten out as one of the first of the stoppers, having some more clean air to fight with. He's now stuck within traffic. He's going to have to work his way through. The previous lap has gone off the limits a tiny bit. So that means that that lap did not count towards his fastest. Just did his personal best on this lap though. 44.325. Lap number 7. Some more stops for the lead that I have been missing this entire race. Severio is back in first. Van Rossum is back to second. And Lindblom is still following closely in third as they're making their way through the final part of the track. So these guys have been swapping everywhere. It's very difficult to keep your eyes on all the things that are going on. Currently, first of the stoppers is Samir Foch in 18th place. Currently doing 44 zeros as compared to a 43.5 for Severio, 44.5 for Van Rossum, and a 44.0 for Lindblom. 43.6 for Carrera. You can see him there in the mirrors already as Van Rossum opens up the door for Lindblom. He's now within a 10th. It's very much possible. Small bump draft maybe even onto the bus stop. No way you can get a send there. There it is. The yellow icon on Van Rossum on the left-hand side does indicate that there was some sort of contact between the two. That might have just been a little bump draft for Lindblom. Knowing what they have behind and knowing what they have in front. Wanting to get that pace to catch Severio, and Van Rossum trying to do everything he can to gain that as we're approaching the halfway mark of the race already. And Caracas has gained massive inroads on these guys. It's currently a fight for net first here between 4 cars. The number 23 of Severio, the number 12 of Van Rossum, the number 8 of Lindblom, and the number 1 of Caracas. All within 1.5 seconds. Now ready to fight for the win. They all have to do their stops. Max has just gotten out of the pits in 18th place, 1 position behind Foch. Will be fighting with Castorino on exit, I believe. We'll have a quick look at that as we're going. Castorino here, looking ahead, and that is Max going right on through within a second. So that is still position 4 for Max coming out of the pits. Is it going to be the same going into the bus stop as well? Yes, it is. Severio doing a good job of holding on to that first place. And that is Lindblom and Caracas swapping positions. Caracas into the pits now. We'll have to look where he lands in relation to Foch, because this is, of course, Caracas having an amazing first stint. Gaining so many positions, up to 4th place, even 3rd now, as he dove into the pits. And Lindblom just making way for him. And Caracas has to, of course, look at Foch. Giraud is in as well. Brotchka is in too. They are all dropping further back. Looking at the number 10 car currently leading the pack in the back of the grid. You can see on the minimap the little inward movement on the map. You see the number 10 moving towards the left-hand side of the inside of the track now as well. That is Samir Foch currently sat in P number 17. As we have an incident with Sasha Wasner. Just dropping back down the order. We're going to have a little replay what happened there after we can see what happened with Caracas, who is currently in the pits. And this is Samir Foch currently going through. Caracas is going to be moving in just a second. We'll see where he ends up. It's Caracas moving. Foch on the outside. It's going to be neck and neck, as Foch will be right behind Caracas. But he will have the better tires. Caracas will be fighting for his life here on the uphill. He'll have cold tires and a lower speed out of turn number 1. Fudge will have an opportunity here in the bus stop. Will he take it though? Caracas slightly defensive and Fudge staying behind. Now Caracas will have to do everything he can to heat up his tires as much as he can and retake that position. Silverio and Van Rossum are in, and Caracas will have to do the best outlap of his life to take away that P1 from Silverio if he can. So everyone in the front going in now. 9 minutes remaining on the pit window. This is where we see the most amount of drivers go in. In the previous lap, Caracas, of course. Now, the guys in front are almost all going in. Angel staying out, I believe. Everyone else has gone in. Voigt and Bellic are still out as well. So 3 cars still to pit within those final 8.5 minutes. Caracas is currently the man to look at with Silverio. And, of course, Laurens van Rossum in 12th place. As it stands, both stationary in the pits. Caracas with the fastest lap to his name. We'll have to take a quick look at where he goes. Is Van Rossum driving already again? No, he's not. He's dropping back. Oh, he is. He is already driving. It's Van Rossum towards the end of the pit lane. Is this man we're looking at. Silverio is right behind him. This will be very close on exit. Silverio, nicely enough, looking to the inside. Doesn't get it, though. It's now looking at Caracas, who is here on the exit. And it's now going to be a 3-way fight here for our net lead. Van Rossum leading Silverio and Caracas. Caracas on the left-hand side of Silverio. Is there going to be contact or not? It's up the hill. Caracas has the speed. This is what happened to Foch as well. Silverio is trying to make a move, and he's blocked in by Caracas. Is holding on to the left-hand side of the track. And Van Rossum trying to defend on the right-hand side. That's a small tap for Silverio onto the left-hand side of Caracas. Are they going to go through the bus stop safely? That's Silverio off. Silverio with the aero wash. He's gone off the track. And he's dipped all the way down. Now he's trying to recover back onto the track, but he's currently sat in 17th place, recovering 18th even, after Van der Meer has passed him as well. And that's contact with Caracas on the straight, but I think that's Aero Wash simply sending him off as he was on the rear, and he was the one to lose out. And that's unfortunate for Silverio, being blocked in on the straight and then absolutely getting sent out of the bus stop chicane. Crazy, crazy sights here on race number 1. Race number 2. And after the pit stops, I'm even getting confused with my race numbers. Angel's gone in. Bellic and Voigt are staying out for 1, possibly 2 more laps. So this is, again, 1 position gain for everyone. But most importantly, Van Rossum is still staying out ahead of Caracas. Beautifully defended there before the bus stop chicane. Holding on to the left-hand side, to the right-hand side, on the inside of the track. Making sure that Silverio can't pass on the straight, because that was the man who he was fighting with on the pit exit already. Caracas was the man he had to keep behind, so that was dangerous. Now they're side by side. Caracas has the outside line, or the inside line, and gets the easy pass done now on Van Rossum. Goes a little bit too wide. Foch is now trying to make inroads as well, so this is for net first place that Van Rossum and Silverio were both fighting for right before they went into the pit. So Caracas has just taken away the lead from Van Rossum and holds now first place after Bellic and Voigt have stopped. Van Rossum is still holding on to it, though. Will have every opportunity available to him to maybe try and put an overtake on Caracas, as Foch will be putting on the pressure himself. I believe that is going to be more likely. Look at the gaps. Van Rossum already dropping behind a tiny bit. It's now Foch that can make a move happen. I remember front 2 still to stop. Voigt and Bellic having to go within the next 2 laps. Otherwise, they'll risk getting a disqualification. So the pit window open for 5 more minutes. The yellow flag out in the back. It's number 31 car. That's Swartz. It's backwards. Recovering back onto the track. And now having to reset himself in P27. So lots of action. In the meantime, Del Fonte has gone up to 12th place. He's trying to make the most out of this this recovery drive. Richter's dropped down to 10th from pole. Hasn't had the greatest job in this race. Savasa is now to 13th. Castorino's up to 6th. He's doing a great job as well. That's going to be net 5th if Voigt can't keep this up. It's currently Voigt in the number 16 car on the starting in sector 3 now. Unsure how long exactly, how much time exactly you do lose in this part of the race. As Van Rossum is now looking behind him in the mirrors. He's going to see Fonch. He's going to see that this is a good part to get a slipstream and close in on the car ahead. Fonch does so very well. Difficult to follow through the bus stop on this high speed. Lots of bumps as well. The number 12 Ferrari holding on to net second place for now. So we have more position swaps in the middle of the pack. Gerard, Richter and Delphante now in a straight fight for 10th place. Will be net 9th, I believe. Richter in the middle with Gerard ahead and Delphante right behind him. Delphante trying to make inroads on the guys ahead. He's going to send it on the inside of Richter. Gets the overtake done very nicely. Richter now very vulnerable from Salazar behind. Currently in 13th place. Should have a little look here on the right-hander. Backs out of it. It's now vulnerable to Sav, who has got the overspeed. Will have to back off of this one as well. If he can't send it here, he's going to look for it, though. He is going to look for it. That's going to be a banger line on the inside. The big wiggle there from Savazas. Bucher is trying to find his way through as well. Into 15th he goes. But no further than that. Sav up to 13th. Voigt and Bellic currently into the pits. Had one more lap to go for them, but they are in now. Voigt is on his way out. So is Bellic, after they've already passed these guys. So Voigt is now sat in 6th place. He's got Lindblom right behind him, so right next to him, and almost right past him. Remember that Lindblom has already stopped, so he has got the pace to try and get the overtake here on Voigt. Voigt's gone towards the inside of the track defensively and very nicely. Lindblom backs out of it. Castorino's gone up to 3rd, so that's a big overtake here for Castorino. So Fonch has dropped back behind Van Rossum. Castorino has made the overtake work, and Van Rossum may be eligible for that 2nd place to hold on to it if Castorino and Fonch are fighting a little bit more. Voigt has now Lindblom right behind him. Lindblom is looking for something in here. That's a very late break, but does keep it stopped. Does get it stopped before they hit the apex. So no contact in here. Max has joined the fray as well. It's going to be a fight for 6th place. Remember, these are the net positions. Everyone has stopped. And it's 12 minutes remaining. 11.5 minutes remaining of racing. Maybe 12 with that final lap that they get added to it. It's going to be so close all the way to the end. So these three fighting for 6th place. That's a lot of points on the board. Some of these drivers do need it. Especially Delphante, who was 3 seconds behind this fight. Currently sat in 9th place. There he goes. There in the back. As Caracas puts in the fastest lap of the race in P1 and absolutely dominating everyone else. 7/10 quicker than the next fastest driver. As Lindblom does get past Voigt here on the straight, will have the turn 1 to his name. And up to P6. For the back, we've got some slowdowns as well. This is Saverio go up to 13th. Drop down to 14th. And fighting here with Bucher and Bellic as there are some cars going off the track. That's Bucher off. And now opening an opportunity for Bellic to fight. So opens the door for Van der Meer and Savaza as well. The white car in the back of this pack. So Van der Meer now side by side with Bucher. He's got the outside. Will this be a send though into the bus stop? Surely not. There it is. Van der Meer dropping behind just momentarily. Just long enough for Bucher to take away that apex of the first turn of the bus stop chicane. Sav now in the number 14, trying to fight for that top 10 finish. We'll look on the inside of Gerard, who doesn't go defensive, leaves the door open. It's just too far away for Sav to do anything of the sorts. Keeps it in 11th place. Doesn't drop further back either. Richter is right behind though, so I'll have to look out to not miss any more opportunities here. Front runners are all solidifying a bit. The gap's increasing to over a second in between Van Rossum, Castrino, Fonch, Sabo. Lindblom 2.5 seconds behind. Voigt 1.5 seconds as well. Max is getting close. Delphante is getting even closer though. They're about 2-3 seconds off the road from where this fight is happening as well. More importantly though, we have this fight here in the middle of the pack too. It's Savaza on Van der Meer, who had to back out of Bucher. And now Duivelaar and Stemmer have joined this battle too. Duivelaar now on the inside, having a little look. Backs out of it. Decides that it's better to wait for one more opportunity. And Duivelaar and Stemmer have gained 11 spots from where they started. So Stemmer all the way from last, that's 30th on the grid, up to 17th. We've lost 2 drivers throughout this race. 2 of the cars deciding not to go for it. Savaza now getting almost an overtake done. That's Duivelaar off the track. And that must be contact between the two. We see the incident thing pop up between Savaza and Duivelaar. And this will be one for the stewards to look at, because this is down to 20th for the number 7 car. McLaren definitely not happy with this one. Currently looking backwards from Giraud. Sat in 10th place, up 13 places from where he started in P23. Had of course that incident on the first lap of race number 1. Has done very, very well to recover. Is now on his way for that top 10 finish. But Sav wants something to say about that. Is getting quite close now to the back of the number 3 Aston Martin. It's now a fight for 10th place. We also have a fight now for 8th breaking out, and a fight for 4th place. Thought there was going to be more fighting for the podium. But Foch has just backed out. Delphante backing out of this fight with Max as well. Sav having a look on the inside. A little bit further back as well. Silverio having a look too. And everyone just looking in turn 1, but no one getting it done. Sabo has now gained some time on Foch. And have a nice look on the rear of that Ferrari. Is that going to be enough though? It's just barely not. And the BMW having to stick behind the Ferrari of Samir Foch. And the number 18 not getting the spot. Delphante though, also just not close enough. Sav maybe, also just barely not close enough. A little bit further back, Bellic, Severio not able to do any overtakes either. So it is getting very close all of a sudden everywhere on the track. Oh, Castorino actually getting real close. Alpine Personal with Van Rossum, the Ferrari. Number 12 sat in 2nd place. Castorino looking for more points to secure the championship for this season. Remember, it's only a third of the season gone. The more you can get, the more you can keep, and the more you can take the fight to somewhere else. The longer you can stay in the lead, of course, the better. Max now fighting with Voigt in front and Delphante behind. Severio fighting with Richter, who's fallen behind Bellic now as well. And Richter's race coming undone, starting on pole position. It's now in the hands of Bucher, who holds 15th place. Delphante having a look now on Max. Has missed an overtake on Voigt, so Delphante through to 8th place. Max has gone down to 9th after having a small look to Voigt and then missing your braking point. That's of course the risk that you can take, or that you can't take here, as Castorino goes through on Van Rossum and Szabo goes through on Foch. So it's 2 overtakes in the same part of the track. It is in the bus stop chicane. About 3 seconds from Szabo to Rossum, Van Rossum, who sat in 3rd place, who wants to keep that podium spot. We have some cars here currently fighting. Severio has Bellic on the outside, currently trying to get that position away from him, and does so confidently. That is a P12 for Severio, P13 for Bellic. Salv is right ahead, but we have Richter Bucher right behind. It's a really late break for Severio. Bellic going through and retaking that position up to 12th place for the number 21. Severio, a look on the inside as well, breaks very late, has the apex, and it's position swapping for Severio and Bellic, and this is losing them both times. Sav is trying to get away with it out in front. Now Bellic has looked behind as Richter is getting closer and closer, but Bucher is trying to stick a little stick in that. He's got the car on the inside for the left-hander. It's going to be a right-hander up next. If Richter can hold on to that spot, that would be very, very nice. Breaks a little bit earlier than what Bucher is doing. A little bit more conservatively. And Richter's now under attack from Van der Meer as well. He's got the inside line. Savaza is getting close to this. Richter around the outside. Goes off the track a little bit too far. Savaza on through maybe as well. Stemmer in 18th. Now has the inside line. Onto the outside. Back to the inside for the final right-hander. Up to the back of the hill. Now he can take that slipstream and get some more space. Grzibek is currently in 19th place. Holds on to this, and this is Sav currently dropping down. Sav, was that an incident or was that not an incident? It definitely was an incident, but was it contact or not? Sav here. So Giraud on the car in ahead. That's the red car, and that is Giraud staying and Sav going off. So that has contact between the two. Giraud losing some speed, losing some time. They're down to 13th place. But Sav down to 19th, unfortunately. It's currently Voigt and Delvante fighting for 7th. Voigt trying to go around the outside once again of this left-hander. Leaves himself vulnerable for Max, who is trying his best to go on through. Unfortunately, Voigt a bit too defensive in the final 2 laps have started. Caracas 7 seconds clear of Castorino. And Castorino only half a second clear of Van Rossum. And it's still possible for him to take away that 2nd place. It is quite close. This Voigt's got Max right behind him. Also very close. And Max currently 9th. Richter retakes 17th place from Grzibek. Max having a little look. Must have a little look at this point. It's all the way up to the bus stop. Unfortunately, the Aston ahead a bit too quick on that straight for the Honda to keep up. There's no way to take that place cleanly through the right-hander. You know what to say, smooth is fast. That's only because you won't have tire wear to deal with. The drivers fighting on the wheels usually are the quicker ones on the 1-lap pace. Unfortunately, this is sort of a sprint endurance. You have to do some work to make it work. Sprint that classifies less than all right, around half a stint. This is 40 minutes, which theoretically should be close to half a stint. But it's still quite capable of these drivers to do what they're doing right now. Max chasing down Voigt still. He's losing time now to Delfante. He's got 5 seconds ahead to Lindblom for 6th place. Don't think he's going to be able to catch that. Who is catching though is Van Rossum. He's half a second away still. Actually lost about a 10th on that lap. Apologies. I thought that was going to be closer into the final turn. Looking at some more fights here. Giraud in the number 3 car up ahead. 13th place. Van der Meer 14th. Savaza in the white car behind number 15 in 15th place. Currently heading towards turn number 1. As an accordion, they're closing in. The number 15 from Savaza is getting closer. Almost making contact with Van der Meer. And they are going as 3 onto the back straight. Popcorn in hand for Savaza, maybe for Richter as well. And for Grzibek, as they are trading positions. The number 29 car up to 16th. Leaving Richter vulnerable to Stemmer, who's currently sat in 18th place. Again, 12 spots from where he started. Vandermeer now with a small contact, I believe, with Savasa there. This midfield is all condensing down to just a few seconds. The checkered flag is out. Gonna have a quick look at Grantas Caracas. Man of the hour. 8 seconds of a lead to the guys behind Castrino. With Caracas winning race number 2. Absolutely amazing stuff. From 4th place in race number 1 to winning race number 2. Castorino will take home 2nd place with Van Rossum. A tremendous effort to hold on to P3 and take home that podium place. Sabo in 4th. Foch takes 5th place still. Lindblom also does a great job to hold on to 6th place. Delfante up to 7th. Voigt 8th place. Max in 9th. And Silverio in 10th. But your race winner will be Grantas Caracas in the number 1 Ferrari from Visceral Esports. And I'm trying to see if we can get some interviews here. So if you're currently racing and you're watching, I want to have a little talk, because we are of course talking about a night race at Watkins Glen. We should have some interviews going on quite soon. Of course, from the drivers from the Porsche Cup as well. That would be very nice to have some words with them as well. Lots of these drivers have done both the races. Caracas was in both. I believe Dauphin, they unsure if he was in the Porsche Cup, I already forgot. But we have a lot of drivers that are here that were also in the Porsche Cup. That was all the action for today. The racing has concluded, and we have well, race control is saying that please go to the interview room for in this course that's Caracas, Castorino, and Van Rossum, and for race number 1 that is going to be I believe from some other podium that we had in race number 1. You can see this here. This is from race number 1, Delfante, Castorino, and Fudge as well. So that is the drivers that we should have in the interview. We actually have Van Rossum in the interview room here. Van Rossum holding on to a 3rd place. Gonna ask him about that. Let's get him in first. Good evening, Laurens van Rossum. Welcome to the casting booth.
Good evening.
How are we doing after a 3rd place finish?
I can get used to this, yeah. 2nd, 3rd place finish, very nice. Super happy with this one.
You held on to this place with everything that you had. I was following the fight the entire time. Starting 2nd place, a good fight out in front. Then holding on to 3rd. How did you do it?
Well, for starters, luck. I was very happy to not be involved in any sort of incidents at the start, and I could get a bit of a gap going, which then allowed me to get new tires for the 2nd stint. And I think Castorino didn't get new tires, because that's the only way I could possibly be around the same pace as him. So yeah, I just started at front and yeah, got new tires, and that was it really.
Well, your pit times were almost identical. Yours and the Castorino's were only a few tenths off. I think 2 tenths was the difference. So must have both taken tires then. So that's more than luck. That is a pure race pace on Watkins Glen. Seems like you like the track then.
I like it, but yeah, it's a very tricky one. Especially turn 1 is make or break. In the Ferrari, you have no chance of overtaking anyone. So if you screw up turn 1, it's yeah, you can easily lose a few positions there. So I like it, but it's a difficult one.
Unfortunately, you held on to 3rd, and then congratulate you with that podium. So congrats on getting that P3, and hopefully we'll get to see you again soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks.
All right, that was Van Rossum, our 3rd place finish. We're going to go on to Castorino in 2nd place. I'll have to do one little quick thing before we head on to that to Castorino's interview, because sometimes if I leave the sim open for too long, it's going to crash and ruin everything on the broadcast as well. It's happened a few times before. Castorino, welcome in the booth.
Hello, good evening.
How are we doing with a P2 finish?
Good. Yeah, P2 race 1, P2 race 2. It's good. Good points.
Yeah, so I think we can maybe look at the standings already, see if we can whip that up on the broadcast as well. If that has been updated, it has not been. You're leading after race number 1. Caracas in second place, really close behind. He should still be in second place, but the fight will be very close for next week. So what's the strategy?
I mean, try to win. It's still very early in the championship, so I mean, there is not much strategy. Just try to do the best in every race without taking too many risks, especially race 2. It's easy to have a contact with someone, so you can't risk too much. So yeah, keep it like that.
Well, I just talked with Rossum, who finished in 3rd in race number 2. He mentioned that he took new tires, and he thought that you didn't, because there was no way he would otherwise keep up with you. So did you take tires, or did you not?
Yeah, I changed tires, but I mean, the thing is, he changed tires 10 minutes later than me, so there is also a big difference on that. And yeah, his pace wasn't too bad as well.
Yeah, so going in early, that was the strategy then, just to go in early, get some clean air, get some fast pace, and then keep the track position?
Yeah, I mean, in front of me I had a group of 4 people fighting just when the pit window opened. And since it's not an easy track to overtake, especially when there is a train of cars, because everyone had the slipstream, I just decided to pit, and the strategy was pit early for sure, just to decide if change tires or not. But for me the tire drop was a bit too high, so I decided to change tires, and it was the right choice. P2 was the maximum in this race, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, the gap out in front of Caracas was absolutely insane, so congrats on holding on to P2, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, thank you, have a nice evening.
Right, now for the race winner, grant us Caracas, welcome.
Hello.
How are we doing? I think I can firstly congratulate you on the victory, and also some good points towards the championship. How does that feel?
Yeah, thank you so much. It feels pretty good to win the second race after how the first race went. A huge mistake in the chicane. Yeah, I mean, didn't expect for sure to climb up the field that fast, especially in a Ferrari, where straight line speed is definitely not the best on this track compared to other cars. So yeah, I was definitely surprised how it went, and yeah, obviously very, very happy about it.
In the first race we were watching, the top 4 was all, I think within 1.5 seconds we had 4 cars, and I mentioned already, I think halfway through, that any incident in the top 4 could shape who wins the race. Unfortunately, I commentated cursed your car, which I apologize about, but it's a great comeback in race number 2. Followed that one through as well. How did the strategy play out in race number 2?
Yeah, so obviously tire degradation is very big in Watkins Glen, and I saw that last season and previous seasons that the better strategy is to box for new tires, because if you're gonna continue, older tires are just gonna tires are gonna die, and gonna be so much of pace, gonna have no pace. And yeah, I mean, I know that Ferrari tire is good, but it's still not enough to make the strategy somewhat valuable. So I went for the strat straight. Even before the race, I knew I'm gonna pick the strategy and try to go as long as possible to get to the middle. So let's change the tires and have split the stints, And yeah, obviously did some great moves. Very happy about those, and obviously it was a very solid pace as well.
Yeah, the pace was the last thing I was going to mention. I think you won by about 8 seconds. You were about a second quicker, about 9/10 or something quicker than Castorino behind. Is that something to look out for the championship, or was this a one-off today?
I think it's a one-off because he pitted so much earlier than me, so he had worse tires than me and obviously less fuel. So that helps a lot to the tires, especially at Watkins Glen. But yeah, for sure, it gives me some confidence boost for sure for the upcoming rounds.
Well, let's just hope that this confidence and these results can carry over for a good championship fight for the rest of the season. Thank you so much, Grantas, and good luck in the season.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Those were the interviews for today. Let's see if we can have the results open. See if that has been updated or not. There it is. This is race number 2 results. We have Caracas in first place, Castorino in second, and Verholsum in third place. all doing a tremendous job in race number 2. And now the fight for the championship is only closing down. Castrino leading the championship. Caracas being in second place, getting closer and closer to the to an equal championship out in first. And these are the 30 cars. We have 2 DNFs, Kiss and Fry are the cars that we missed halfway through. And we missed 2 drivers somewhere through. 3 actually. Alvarado, of course, also not there. Let's see if the standings are updated or not. If they aren't, can't really look at anything too big. There they are. Standings have been updated, and the gap out in front is 146 points between Castorino and Grandes Caracas. Del Fonte still in 3rd place. Van Rossum jumps up to 4th. Everyone else behind, of course, has swapped around as well. Forge with the podium position in race number 1 has gone up to 10th place in the standings overall. Fry has dropped it down a few with the DNF in race number 2 today. But overall, lots of good points here for all of these drivers. Stemmer as well in 18th place. Good points in race number 2. And now we're getting to the part where the drivers are not all in today's race. So we're going to do one more. Then we'll have to call it here. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for supporting today's event. If you want to see more of Low Fuel Motorsports, you can go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there, and be notified to new races. Then also to our Twitch channel, follow and hit the follow and hit the notification as well to be updated for more races. Here we have our schedule for season 20. These are all the ACC races. That's what I'm commentating on right now. So that's what I'm going to show off as well. Currently in week number 4, Watkins Glen has just been done in the Pro Series. Next week we have Brands Hatch in the week of the 3rd of November. We've got plenty of racing going on as well. And paired with that Brands Hatch race in week number 5, we have our Porsche Cup week number 5 in Barcelona. Same format as today, just with different tracks. So that being said, thank you all so much for joining us. I've been Olaf, aka Wops Racing. You can find me on wopsracing.com. You can find more of Low Fuel Motorsport on lowfuelmotorsport.com. And hopefully I'll get to see you again soon. Good night, and until then.